go on this site, engage the stories. Don't just see the links. In fact, that's why we have links there to propel you to click on it and read the story, get the entire story. And then let's have your thoughts on that eventually. We'll get round to it. So we'll start off with the very beginning here from the Vanguard newspaper, and it says, insecurity. There's plan to exterminate Indibo. Mbazulike Amici is the one speaking there. Insecurity. There's plan to exterminate Indibo. Outrage trails NBC conviction of Channels TV for featuring IPOB spokesperson's interview. Outrage trails NBC conviction of Channels TV for featuring the IPOB spokesperson interview. Boko Haram hoists flags in captured Niger villages. This is what Governor Bello is saying. Boko Haram hoists flags in captured Niger villages. Governor Bello. Pantami raises alarm over fresh doctored videos to malign him. Pantami raises alarm over fresh doctored videos to malign him. And insecurity, nothing mother, 8 others kidnapped in Ogbomosho. Insecurity, nothing mother, 8 others kidnapped in Ogbomosho. Insecurity, presidency, now employer and defender of terrorists. Person speaking, Bayoshe. Insecurity, presidency, now employer, defender of terrorists. And then you also have now in the Vanguard newspaper, gunmen kill 9 persons, several cows as fear grips Ojukwu Varsity town. Gunmen killed 9 persons, several cows as fear grips Ojukwu Varsity town. And then we will move on to the Punch newspaper. In the Punch, Buhari will soon deal with criminals, sponsors, says APC. Buhari will soon deal with criminal sponsors, says APC. As the criminals and their sponsors, all of them, Buhari will soon deal with them. And then 15 cops, 5 soldiers killed, governor says. Abuja not safe. 15 cops, that's 15 policemen, 5 soldiers killed. Governor says Abuja not safe. And also in the Punch newspaper, electricity tariffs may rise in July. NERC plans review. Electricity tariffs may rise in July. NERC plans review. And you also have in the Punch newspaper, PDP tackles member alleging 10 billion naira mismanagement. PDP tackles member alleging 10 billion naira mismanagement. Yoruba Nation rally, DSS grills Kiriji leader, OPC denies involvement. Yoruba Nation rally, DSS grills Kiriji leader, OPC denies involvement. Also in this newspaper, governor's obstinacy stalls talks with judicial workers. Governor's obstinacy stalls talks with judicial workers. And then we move on to the Daily Trust newspaper. And in the Daily Trust, I won't allow paid agents drag me to the mud. Pantami fires back. I won't allow paid agents drag me to the mud. Pantami fires back. FIRS give MDAs 6 months to clear tax liabilities. FIRS gives MDAs 6 months to clear tax liabilities. Also in the Daily Trust, our new constitution for Nigeria ready October 30th. This is coming from the NC Front. Our new constitution for Nigeria ready October 30th. NC Front. And then to the Guardian newspaper, we have many killed as NURTW members Okada operators clash in Lagos. Many injured as NURTW members Okada operators clash in Lagos. And RSG, that's the Rivers State government, denounces attack on security personnel in Rivers. RSG denounces attack on security personnel in Rivers. And finally, Wike tasks CDS to reduce insurgency. Wike tasks CDS to reduce insurgency. Manuel Ndukwe, good morning.
Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Nigeria.
Let me just quickly ask you, any part of the news here that you're excited about? Maybe the part that NERC may soon increase electricity tariff by July?
No, I think
that part is not pleasing?
I think everything is a bag of sorrow and worry. And
when I saw that earlier, I said, what kind of timing do we have?
Yeah.
Why is NRC even thinking of increasing the tariff when we're going through inflation hitting the roof, food insecurity is spiking. We've got security that has broken down almost completely, whatever part of the bridge you're on. And then you have an electricity tariff coming up in a few months from now. Like, how much more can Nigerians really bear?
You know that the electricity seems to be the one that has a speck of brightness on it, because one may decide not to use electricity. You won't die.
Yeah.
One won't die. But you see these other ones killing here, and I don't understand this kind of concept.
You will die. That one you will die.
I'm getting tired of the whole thing.
Are you coming with me to Canada?
Well, until you start when I'm sure you are going.
We're all heading to Canada.
But you also know that the snag in Canada, they say
the cold.
Cold is self.
The cold is enough for you to create. You know what? Let me go back to Boko Haram. All right, then let's get to the papers real quickly now. So we'll start off with the very first, and we have insecurity that's planned to exterminate Indibo. Mbazaluke Amechi there speaking, and it says here that nationalist and First Republic Aviation Minister Chief Mbazaluke Amechi yesterday warned Indibo to be at alert, saying there is a grand plan to wipe Indibo out of Nigeria. This came as Diaspora Igbo Group, the Igbo World Assembly, has condemned in the strongest terms the federal government's posture in labeling the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB a terrorist organization. Chief Amechi was reacting to the recent killing of IPOB-led Eastern Security Network ESN commander in Ibidi, Imo State, and subsequent burning of parts of Imo State Governor's home in Omuma, Oru local government area of the state. Chief Amechi alleged that even the security agents may have a hand using Hitler's style of instigating killings and burnings, only to blame the Jews, like what is happening in the southeast now. Chief Amechi stated that IPOB may not have a hand in the attacks and lawlessness going on in the southeast because they do not lack the courage to own up to what they did. In the present day Nigeria, people see the truth and they feel too afraid or too timid to say the truth. That is the problem with Nigeria and its present leadership. The truth is that what is happening in Nigeria, not only in Igbo land, is pathological hatred for Ndibo. If you read the reply of Gwarzo or somebody's reply to Chief Femi Fani Kayode, the man stated the truth. He stated what they want. They see southern Nigeria as their slave. And that is what is happening in Benue State now. Benue State and the southeast are now places mapped out for conquering. However, the whole thing is sort of backfiring against them with what is happening in the north. But it is part of the program, not allowing Christian schools, particularly schools where they teach Western education, to function, not allowing Christian secondary schools to function, and particularly with the release of the Almajire who have been kept in the forest. The Almajire have been excluded from the communities by the perpetrators of this insecurity and have been training them with the use of weapons in the forest, and they have released them to go out, arming them with weapons and so on to attack people. But the Igbo man has to be very careful. I do not believe that IPOB will be cowardly to deny if it was involved in the attacks in the southeast. I do not think that IPOB lacks the courage to own up involvement if they are actually involved. I'm saying that they are not involved. They are only trying to accuse them to give a dog a bad name to hang it. That is what is happening in Igbo land. So this is what Mbazaluke Amechi says. He said there's a plan, a grand plan to exterminate Indibo. All that's happening in the southeast is part of the grand plan. It's nothing to do with IPOB. And he says this is coming at the heels of the IWA also condemning in strongest terms the federal government's posture in labeling the indigenous people of Biafra a terrorist organization.
Is it the IWA or what?
IWA is the one that said this.
Good.
But Mbazaluke is the one who is saying that there is a plan
to exterminate
Indibo.
Well, why I'm asking about the IWA, I don't know whether they just formed them yesterday.
No, they've been in existence. They just don't like the uptick. They know it was prescribed, but maybe they just felt they'll prescribe and it will be okay. But maybe they don't like the uptick in that line. You prescribe and it seems as if you're after them.
Well, I think everything should have its time. This particular criticism they are making known to the world, not only Nigeria, is something they should have pursued with the greatest vigor as at the time IPOB was proscribed, and said that federal government, why are you proscribing these people? Look at their posture. They are not a terrorist and all that. But they kept quiet all this time. If not because of the problems now, they wouldn't have come up with this position. However, what Amechi has said, well, might be a grand plan as he has seen, because I want to believe that he saw behind the curtains before coming out with this. For Emmanuel Nukwu, I didn't see anything like that. But I also find it out that whether there are such plans or not, it will not happen. Ndibo cannot be exterminated in Nigeria. One thing is that, for me, I know that IPOB had been owning up to certain things they did. Take, for instance, they said they are snatching weapons from people and all that. They said no, rather we produce weapons. You can see that telling you where you don't even know. Now, they asked, they said, they blamed them for this and that. They said, no, we have no hands in that. Remember again, those in the presidency that are defending Pantami said that he has repented. He said he didn't do it. Then why are you people concentrating on blaming him there? But the truth is that whatever be the case, situations vary. Well, the Igbos may not be liked by the authorities. They may be liked by the authorities. The issue is that Igbos will continue in existence, and then they should be careful. Let it be that you are doing the right thing and people are coming with hatred to come and fish you out. Let it not be that you are involved in one bad thing, and then when they come, you say they hate you.
All right, Emmanuel, for your thoughts there. Well, we also have joining us here, Ruben Jr. Good to have you. Ruben Jr., good to have you here.
Good morning, Annie.
All right, good morning.
I think the only good thing I had this morning was the gospel music you were playing this morning.
That's the only good thing you've heard.
That's the only good thing for me this morning, because I woke up as early as 3 a.m. to go through what is happening across the nation, and indeed, it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant. I was coming to the studio with the mindset like, it seems like we are going to be talking about insecurity, killings, and all the rest today. But you just made it better for me when you played that gospel music. Now,
it relieves tensions.
Of course, it does, and it refreshes my brain. At least I was consoled.
All right, then.
Going to what is coming out from the East, I think this is one of the issues that has really brought us where we are, or kept us where we are. When your son is not doing well, you fail to take the message from his teacher or other persons who have seen it to like point accusing finger and say one or two things is because it's my child and all the rest. You know, the insecurity in the North started like this when the elites from the North, instead of tackling the issues that are facing them, they keep defending them in one way or the other. In as much as I may not totally accept the manner in which the federal government has handled the IPOB issue, I will also not stand for IPOB for their activities. Like we have known, IPOB have taken responsibility for most of the attacks or some of the incidents coming out from the East. But for this incident in respect to the governor's attack, the home country of the governor, I think even the leaders from the East actually exonerated IPOB from it. It was a former IG who later came out in the public and was like saying it was IPOB and all the rest. But I totally condemn what is happening in the North. I don't think this is the time for us to be sectional in our judgment. This is not the time for us to be very biased in our judgment. What is happening in the East, it is bad. I tell you once more, this is how we actually raise the serpent in the North currently as pet. And today it has become an issue for us. It is spreading. So from the East, if we don't keep our eyes open and handle the issues we are seeing from the East thoroughly, some of us that are even defending them, federal governments to wipe away Ndigbo and all the rest, all this is coming not for the ethnic nationality, but beneath, I know where they are going to. They are feeling like the way the IPOBs are being handled in the East is quite different from the way the bandits and the other rest in the North are being handled. But I think as elite they are from the East, this is the best time I expect them to handle what is happening before it becomes what has happened in the North.
Yeah, like you said, I can almost understand, for the people of that region, especially somebody like Mbazlike who's speaking now, when the ESN was birthed, and perhaps he did not, condemn it as much as a lot of people might have expected, because at that point they felt they needed to offer protection for themselves. They felt that their family members, their loved ones, couldn't go about their businesses because they were being attacked in the bushes and in their farmlands, and they felt the police was not doing enough. So at that point, if the state governments were not coming up with any form of security, if any group at all offered it, I'm sure that they will also find some form of encouragement towards that. It's just like how we saw OSPAC springing up, and eventually it's almost as if it's adopted because we felt they're doing what they did. So I would think the same thing with ESN. But you see, again, the problem with that is the narrative following the ESN and the person who, will I say, encouraged his existence or birthed his existence, which is Nnamdi Kanu. And the kind of rhetorics he puts out there, if you listen to it, you see how he charges his men to do certain things that are being done now.
No.
So it's very difficult to say it's not ESN, because he's the one who says attack them in this place, go to this place, take away their guns, don't go in ones and twos, go in your numbers, overwhelm them. He says these things. We see things like that acting out now, and you're saying, these people are not ESN. These people are. It's possible. I mean, in the world now, it would be silly of me to say these things are not possible. It's possible, but why it's also difficult to sell that idea hook, line, and sinker is you already have somebody who is urging the people to take on this very action. I think what is important for everybody to realize right now is that all we're doing here is that we're beating the drums for a war that none of us will survive.
Of course,
none of us will survive it. The way we're encouraging it now, you have all that is going on in the north, you have what's going on in the southwest, you have southeast, you have south. What else is remaining?
Annie, there is nothing else that is remaining.
Nothing.
We are only expecting that it goes worse or we solve it. And now, Annie, if you remember some time ago when we were talking, I made it clear. I made it clear to you that what we are going through currently is, I referred it then as we're sitting on a keg of gunpowder, and it has begun to explode from one section or the other.
Gunpowder. I said it was a nuclear bomb.
You remember I also told you that the Amotekun was welcomed with all sincerity by the Western governors, but that of the Eastern governors when the ESN was established.
Because it wasn't from the governors.
It
wasn't the governors that initiated that.
The way they were also coming in for the ESN, I knew something would be wrong. Now we are hearing the name correlated. They said an IPOB in ESN.
Okay. All right. Outrage trails NBC conviction of Channels TV featuring IPOB spokesperson's interview. Outrage yesterday trailed National Broadcasting Commission conviction of Channels Television over its April 25th, 2021 host of the spokesperson of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Ima Powerful, in an interview in which he played down on the killing of the commander of the Eastern Security Network, ESN, Ikonso, saying he had already been replaced. NBC, in a letter addressed to the managing director of Channels Television by the acting Director General of NBC, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, accused the television station of breaching Section 9 of the NBC Act and liable to sanctions provided in Section 15 of the Code, which prescribes, among others, suspension of the broadcast license and a fine of 5 million naira. NBS letters reads, we refer to the broadcast of your program so and so. In the program, a so-called new leader of IPOB made several secessionists and inciting declarations on air without caution or reprimand by your station. He also made derogatory, false, and misleading statements against the Nigerian army or about the Nigerian army. This is reprehensible, especially that IPOB remains a proscribed organization as pronounced by the courts of the land. This much Channels TV ought to know and respect. The program was very clearly in violation of the provisions of the Code and extant provisions of the Broadcasting Act. Similarly, the Broadcasting Act in Section 9 mandates the holder of a license to use it to promote national interest, unity, and cohesion. It shall not be used to offend the religious sensibilities or promote ethnicity, sectionalism, hatred, and disaffection among the people of Nigeria. For obviously breaching the above provision of the law, your station remains liable to sanctions provided in Section 15 of the Code, which prescribes, among others, suspension of a broadcast license and a fine of 5 billion naira. Please be reminded that your station owes the country the responsibility for a truly professional and ethically guided broadcast station, especially at times of crisis. Please ensure an immediate stop of the program. Meanwhile, Nigerian Guild of Editors has condemned in strong terms the threat issued to channels by the NBC over IPOB spokesperson's interview. Mustafa Isa, president of NGE, in a statement yesterday said the Guild would not stand by and watch media houses being threatened by regulatory agencies in the country. Press freedom is threatened when media houses are made to operate in an atmosphere of fear. The Guild stands with channels and we go to any length to defend press freedom in the country. All right, there we are. Several other people too pushing that. President of the Nigerian Union of Journalists condemned NBC's action, says we want to therefore ask NBC to withdraw the purported fine clamped on the channel's TV. And then Social Economic Rights and Accountability Serap has urged the government of President Muhammadu Buhari and the NBC to immediately reverse the arbitrary, unconstitutional and illegal decision to suspend Channels Television and to impose a fine of 5 million naira on the station, purportedly for breaching the broadcast code. Imana, let me start with you.
Well, I think authorities are allowing Nigeria to slide to maybe heave under. Let me put it that way, because everything seems to be going wrong, and the authorities are just watching, not doing anything, whether they are helpless or not. But this part of NBC, I don't think they are helpless. I think it's a determined fine they want to give them. You know, when you say a group is proscribed, they can still grant interview, even though proscribed. They can grant interview, and then the interview will be aired, whatever. But there is no official thing they could come out and do. But this one, where I have a snag that seems to be in support of NBC, is that you read out stipulations of that particular guide that, for instance, as a presenter, you will be guiding the person if he makes derogatory statement and all that. Guide the person. But when you keep quiet as claimed by NBC, what is happening there? But whatever happens, does it warrant suspension of channels? I really don't understand what is going on in this country. It seems that one day we may wake up without seeing anything again in terms of what should be in a civilized society. Because if it is because they granted interview to a more powerful and you are suspending them,
no, they said it was the words Imam Powerful said while on air, that they said he did all of that without caution.
Yes, I've said that much. What I'm saying, for me, I do not accept that. If it's the code of law had itemized that NBC law, and of course it should be respected. Even the NUJ, all the rest of them that are coming and set up all the rest. Now, this guide, has it been out since? Was it made known to broadcast stations or media houses? So long as they exist there, I think they should be listened to. But where you, because of that, instead of finding them brief, maybe small amount, and you are saying you find them or suspend them, I don't understand what is going on. For me, I think that the penalty should have been, how much do they say? 5 million or 5 billion? Whichever, I don't know.
5 million naira.
Okay, 5 million naira is too much for such a fine. But if you had fined them, at least let it be that people know that they have been reprimanded. But you think they are suspending them, perhaps unless they pay that amount. I don't know whether you pay or not, you are suspended for a time. For me, it's painful how things are going in this way. But one fact I know, that even abroad, organizations that are highly known as rebel organizations, they grant interview. Whatever, they grant interview and people will hear them speak on radio. Why is Nigeria? Nigeria has not. Is it anything bad that will be copied? Not the good one.
All right, I know we got your thoughts there. What do you think, Ruben Izu Jr.?
Annie, in as much as I may agree with them based on the ethics of the profession, I'm a human. I have to think from this angle. And if from the broadcast or the ethics that are guiding your radio station permits that I do not speak in a derogatory way. And if I do, as a guest in the studio, you should caution me. I'm now speaking from the point where they are now trying to find Channels Television. And if I have used the word and our listeners have already heard, but you are cautioning me, what good
yes,
has it done?
you have done something.
No,
yes, you have. You
where
heard
I'm
it.
coming.
You heard it, but then I cautioned you, and that means again the people who heard you understood that the words. It's just the same thing when you go to court, and then somebody says something, and the judge says that I don't know. We don't have that kind of jury system here, but the judge could tell the jury that that particular part they just heard should be taken out of context, should not be taken into part of the issues they're looking at. They've heard, but they have to extricate. It's the same thing too. You will also see that you've said it. If I caution you, the people who heard also understand that that particular thing you said is not true or shouldn't be said.
And I think to me as a person, NBC is looking for a way to generate. They're looking for a way to generate revenue, because we have heard in several forums, we have heard some persons using derogatory languages in the media, sometimes not being cautioned. I don't know if this is the reasons why sometimes you hear Nigerians saying that Channels is being witch hunted or a certain organization is being witch hunted. We've heard so many. We've heard, okay, if you want to tell me about this, Annie, please, when Sheikh Gumi made a statement on this same Channels Television, what are those statements? Will you call them derogatory, or what will you call them?
What statements did Sheikh Gumi? Which particular one? And Sheikh Gumi has been making
Sheikh, I mean the very
Which
statement he made when the Niger State students were kidnapped, the very first interview granted.
Yeah, so what did he say at that point? You can't remember.
You know why I made this reference. I shouldn't be looked at like someone who I'm not holding brief for Channels, but we all knew. I'm sorry to use. We all knew. Sometimes when we talk on radio, sometimes we are being economical to an extent with the fact that is out there. But we all knew what happened across this country when Sheikh Gumi. I wouldn't be picking one word or the other, but it's out there. Nobody cautioned Channels as at that time. I'm not being trying to be...
Yeah, but that's what I'm wondering. What words did Sheikh Gumi use that you felt were inciting?
And there were so many words.
Which one? Tell me
there
one.
There were so many.
Like one. Just tell me one.
When you accuse the security agencies of knowing where this... What is that? He was asked directly, are you sure if you as a person could locate this the location of these bandits or whoever that has kidnapped these students, how come our security apparatus with all the intelligence and the equipment they have unable to do so? He said it live on television.
He said the army knows where all these Fulani Rugas are.
So does it tell you anything?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't
tell
tell
you. It tells me that they know where the Fulani Rugas are.
It's a clip. Anybody can make.
Anyways, we'll spend this 1 hour with you. Thank you very much. We have Dr. C.H. Chinwo. He's a legal practitioner, legal analyst, and living in Nigeria. I mean, for a couple of days now, I've been talking about living in Nigeria. I mean, so maybe I should have a special interview with you later to understand. What are your coping mechanisms?
Remembering me. Yes, I think one of the coping mechanisms is seizing the opportunity you give me to come here.
Oh my goodness!
I have my view. You see, many people don't understand the value of allowing people air their view.
Yes.
It eases tension. It makes you know the other person. It makes you manage things. And that's also where I come in on the issue we're talking about, NBC. NBC doesn't seem to have understood this. Nations that information is free, though not absolutely free, are nations that have more stability than closed society. But the NBC seems to be on a determined drive to shut Nigerians out from information. It didn't start with Idachaba. He's Armstrong. Let me make a pun on his name with all respect. He's Armstrong. He seems to be very Armstrong on the media. But you see, when Obasanjo was the president, do you remember that an aircraft, Bellevue airplane, crashed? The Nigerian government couldn't find where it was. That AIT went and found out and reported. NBC shut down, what is it called? AIT. The president had to come and apologize to AIT. And that is the kind of situation you're having. Somebody now, Nigerians have heard of Emma Power, powerful Emma Power. Now, was his picture aired in the? I didn't watch the program, but whether they interviewed him audio or video, But at least Nigerians were hearing him. Nigerians are given opportunity to know the other side. We'll only be hearing Nnamdi Kanu from wherever, which Nigerian days, NBC said they can't locate where he is, on maybe a ghost radio. Now, a more powerful has been able to talk to a station that Nigerians know where their office is, in a program that Nigerians watch. And what would he have done? Both NMB, NBC, the security listened very well. I don't know where he is. Yeah. Now, but these people have presented it. The people that should be your partner in this battle are the people you are making your opponent. NBC is an enemy of the government. Idachaba has, in his overzealousness, I don't know what he has hope for another promotion, but he's going beyond bounds. Now, I'm not saying that the media should go, without control. As we come here, there are certain issues direction we want to go, you tell us no, you redirect it. And of course, we're as responsible discussers, we understand that. It's not because of the integrity, not only of the station, but of the nation. But when you get to the point of every day anything happens, you look at a fine, you impose 5 million. Like Ruben said, I don't know whether their aim is to raise revenue, more than to do what it is. Because this year alone, NBC have imposed at least twice on this channel.
Channels, yes.
That is 10 million if they had paid it, or if they are paying it. And you come to talk, as a lawyer, no institution has power to impose fine. The law has stated if you falter, if you make a derogatory statement, you pay XYZ fine. It is the court that will confirm that with the statement you made is derogatory. Just like if somebody says something against me and I feel that's derogatory, that's defamatory, I don't have the power to say, my friend, I'll collect 1 million, I'll collect 2 million. I go to the court to say, court, this person said XYZ against me. In my view, and in view of my friends or those who know me, this is defamatory. The court will consider it based on laid down legal criteria and say that is defamatory and this is what should be paid. So it doesn't lie in the mouth of NBC as an executive body to accuse, to prosecute, to judge, to sentence, and to enforce. I know what they're doing. And that is the illegality of the whole thing.
I think that's where I actually do stand with you. Yeah. You know, if there is a code that they believe that channel has breached, then you take them to court.
To court. Enforce it.
You got a license that you will obey these rules and regulations. Yes. Now, this is what you did and you breached. Let the judges also go through that process and say, yes, indeed, you breached it. And then what is attached in the code? If it's 5 billion, then they say, well, that means it applies. Yes. But not that they sit down arbitrarily and decide that.
These are the things we must get over. Because if we want rule of law to operate in this country, every one of us must submit to it. You know, a judge can just tell us once, no matter the zeal all of us have against corruption or against illegality, we must succumb to the rule of law. Because otherwise, if everybody begins to enforce the law by himself, there will be no law.
There'll be no law. All right, let's get back to the papers. This here says, Boko Haram hoists flags in captured Niger villages. This is what the governor is saying, Governor Bello. And he says Abuja is not safe anymore. Look, you guys are just next door. Governor Abubakar Bello of Niger State yesterday said Boko Haram had already infiltrated the state and had not only hoisted their flags in captured villages, including Kaure village in the Shiroro local government area of the state, they had also forcefully allocated displaced women to themselves as wives. The governor contended that Sambisa is several kilometers from Abuja, but Kaure is just 2 kilometers from Abuja, insisting that nobody is safe anymore, not even residents of Abuja. According to the governor, flag hoisted by the terrorist group is now visible in Kaure village in the Shirolo local government area. Speaking when he visited the internally displaced people IDP's camp at the IBB primary school near the Emir of Mina's palace, Governor Bello said because of the influx of the displaced people from the villages, the IBB primary school was hurriedly turned into an IDP camp by the government to cater for the affected people. The displaced people in the camp were over 5,000, including villagers sacked from their ancestral homes in Shiroro and Munya local government areas by the bandits who raided the towns over the weekend. The governor said, I'm confirming that there are Boko Haram elements here in Niger State. Here in Kaure, in Shiroro local government area, I'm confirming that they have hoisted their flags there. The villagers' wives have been seized from them forcefully and attached to Boko Haram members. I just heard that they have placed their flags at Kaure, meaning they have taken over the territory. This is what I've been engaging the federal government on, but unfortunately, it has now gotten to this level. If care is not taken, even Abuja is not safe. So, I mean, at one point, I remember the security chiefs saying, they have decimated Boko Haram to the point that they can't hoist their flags anymore. That, all they're doing now is just, hitting soft targets. At which that time I queried, well, soft targets are us. And we have a problem that you just thinking soft targets is okay. It's not. Well, they're hitting soft targets yet, and now they're hoisting flags. Let's not forget that in Yobe too, there are two communities where they also claim they've hoisted their flags.
Yeah. I can't remember the other one that they entered and then hoisted their flag in
Borno?
In Borno.
Yes, in Borno. Which was retaken, yes.
Well, the truth is that during Jonathan's time, what we were using as yardstick to differentiate that era and now was that Boko Haram flags were whether in 21 local governments or so. But now no place is there flags hoisted. Well, I think we are hearing it. Manuel Ndukwe is not a Shiroro to know whether the flags are there or not. And thank God I'm not there because I would have left any slightest opportunity. Because see, I don't understand government. When you are planning to come into government, there could be facers. That's a problem that you just meet. But as far as security is concerned, make sure that you provide it. Now, the governor said he's been engaging with federal government. Maybe attention has not been given much to all that he has been saying. And look at it. Now, can we sincerely now stand up and said, well, Jonathan era was worse. Maybe 21. Maybe we're waiting until he reaches 21 again. Or maybe 22. We say this time. But the fact remains that since they have come back. At that time, they were saying soft targets. I asked them whether military cantonment was a soft target. Where they will go into military cantonment and then fire and they take off, they carry arms. How soft is the military cantonment? So it's unfortunate what Nigeria is going. I don't know. That, like Jimena will say, lease Nigeria, but I'm not saying lease it. Why not liaise with other more developed nations to come and help Nigeria out of this kind of problem? Because it's becoming very obvious that the authorities are becoming overwhelmed and the military and all the rest of them.
Okay. Ruben Izu?
I think this is one of the reasons that actually informed the late gospel singer Sonny Okosun to actually ask a question in his gospel song in the 80s, talking about which way Nigeria and which way to go. He says he loves his country. Then and today, that question is asked the country from previous administration till the current has not been answered. Talking about insecurity and Abuja not being safe, it is those who have not been listening to news that will not know. It is easier to report most of the news from some of the northern states and some other areas that are being ravaged by the insecurity. But that of the Abuja, what is happening, we hardly hear. But we have gotten privy informations. Abuja has been suffering from this kidnap. It is just if you can remember what's it called? A less privileged home was being attacked some time ago, early this year, and a ransom of about 10 million was being requested by the kidnappers. As in, you go into in the heart of the capital city. Now, last night I also found out that you can't travel on the highway between Abuja and Nasarawa State, and as well Niger State, for quite some time. I saw passengers resorting to train. I heard them saying that for quite some time they've been traveling via the train. So these are not something, if you are not, how will I put it, interested in finding out, you may not know, so you think Abuja is safe. I was watching a program on one of the national televisions, and when those who live in Abuja were being interviewed, when they were giving us the and I think I agree with the governor who has said this, because if you say Jigawa State, if you say Borno State, if you say which of the states, fine, they are quite far. But for this one, it is very close. Although the federal government and the security agency said they've cleared the highway, but I don't think they have actually done so. They are still going on with their activities.
Ruben Izu Jr., got your thoughts on that, Dr. Sieja Chinwo?
Well, this is the price we pay for doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. When this government came in, the government came in at the time when the insecurity was already out. Everybody was seeing it. Such a government would have thought sat down before they came in and planned what to do. They didn't, apparently, when they came. You now had, I remember Oyegun John Oyegun, the party chairman of APC, saying, if we see the president's body movement, that it has already chased away Boko Haram. And Boko Haram was apparently laughing. And the impression was, we have just come. The next thing they had is technical defeat. Not defeat on the war front. And all these things, the governments allowed these people, and then he began to do propaganda. By the time we came, before we came, there were 21 local governments in Borno State that were under under Boko Haram control. Now these are states are in the fringes of the country. Niger State, though is the largest state in terms of landmass in Nigeria. Niger State is just the next state. It's a neighboring state to Abuja. Today, the governor himself is saying these people are all over the place. And he's been talking about it. So, and that's why I keep saying here, and I pray I'm wrong, but if this is not the agenda of the president to let us pass through this, then he's failing. But if it's his agenda, God forbid, that he wants us to pass through this, then he's succeeding. Because the thing has gone to an embarrassing extent that everywhere people are asking, do we have a leader? Do we have an armed forces? Do we have a police? Is there any DSS? Where are they? And as late it is, listening to the news yesterday, just like Ruben said here, the only thing that consoles them, that's why Nigeria is a religious society, people don't understand. The only thing that consoles the average Nigerian is religion. Because you listen to the news from morning till night, your heart will get broken. You almost get alarmed. You don't know where you don't know whether your front is safe or back is safe, not all right. Because everywhere you're hearing of kidnap, you're hearing of Rivers State, Imo State, Abia State, Niger, Abuja, everywhere. Let this government please humble itself and collect all forces in Nigeria, internal intelligence and all that, and then also link up with outside. Doesn't America links up with other nations to solve this problem? Why can't we? We can't be proud about this in our dying because it's dangerous now. Right, nobody wants to travel anymore.
So you
sorry, Annie. I didn't comment on that. Abuja is not safe. The governor of Niger State, maybe he's seeing Abuja because he's very closest. I think Nigeria is not safe.
Okay. All right. You just mentioned something now about if this was the plan of the president and he succeeded, but God forbid, and all of that. Fayose says insecurity, presidency now employer and defender of terrorists. That's what Fayose says here. You find that story in the Vanguard newspaper. Former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has described as appalling the present situation in Nigeria, where the presidency has allegedly become the employer and defender of Boko Haram terrorists and armed bandits. The former governor, who also called on Nigerians to restrict their movements to avoid falling victims to terrorists who have taken over the entire country, expressed concern that nowhere is safe in the country. Fayose said in a statement on Sunday by his media aide, Larry Olayinka, that the issue of the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, has further exposed the government's hypocrisy and complicity, adding that it is saddening and worrisome that spokesperson of the president were the ones going from one media house to another to defend someone who's openly supported terrorists. He lamented that in the last 3 days, over 300 Nigerians have been killed across the country, with several others in captivity. And this is not enough for President Muhammadu Buhari and his men to wear sackcloth and cover themselves with ashes. Rather, they are seen making merry as if nothing has happened. I'm just going to quickly throw that in with Pantami's position on some of this. I won't allow paid agents to drag me to the mud. This is what Pantami fires back. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, has promised not to sit idle and allow his hard-earned reputation dragged to the mud. The minister's reaction is coming in the wake of an alleged plot by unnamed individuals to release some doctored videos purportedly showing the minister in an alleged compromising position. The minister, in a statement by his spokesperson, Uwa Suleiman, said he's not unaware of well-coordinated and richly funded campaign against him. We're in the receipt of credible intelligence that the same forces who have been championing a well-coordinated and richly funded campaign against the Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Ali Pantami, are now on to the next stage of their diabolic project. This time around, the forces are evil are shopping for willing partners as well as their usual avenues to release doctors' videos purportedly to show the honorable minister in an alleged compromising condition as a way of creating injury to his image. We are at least surprised by this. We are least surprised by this recent move, which is a clear intensification of their desperation, having failed in their assault on the personality of the Honorable Minister despite the previous efforts. After concocting lies and half-truths linking the Honorable Minister with terrorism, despite his well-documented stance against Boko Haram and similar groups, these adversaries went to the extent of doctoring a document with capacity to endanger national security. It was a relief of peace for peace-loving Nigerians that the gimmick also failed to strike the sensitive chord. This notice, therefore, is to alert the public to the latest ungodly plan and to warn the perpetrators about the consequences of such action. Emmanuel, we'll get your thoughts when we come back. That of Dr. C.J. Chinwo and Ruben too. We'll get all of that when we return after the news update. So let's just go think of Pantami and we'll read that.
And fire.
And fire.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every day, every hour. When the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Hello and good morning. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Annie Abdul Salam. The federal government has warned Nigerians against traveling to countries that are recording a third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, especially India, where they largely go for tourism, medical tourism. The federal government also listed South Africa, Turkey, and Brazil in the travel advisory. Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 also warned Nigerians against shunning safety protocols against the virus, saying the pandemic was not over. National Incident Manager PSC Mukhtar Mohammed, who spoke at the media briefing by the committee, said citizens must be aware of the happenings around the globe. The Nigerian government is expecting about 29.8 million doses of Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. The executive director of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Faisal Shraib, disclosed this at the weekly media briefing of the COVID-19 Presidential Steering Committee in Abuja. Shraib said the government signed off to receive the vaccines through the African Union, while vaccine deliveries through the COVAX facility were expected by the end of May or early June. The NPHCDA boss noted that by then, Nigeria will have completed the process of administering the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine to those who got the first dose. River State Governor Nyesom Wike says the state's partnership with the World Health Organization has helped reduce enormously the rate of malaria and HIV/AIDS among the people. Governor Wike made the assertion when he hosted a delegation from the WHO at Government House, Port Harcourt, where he said the issuance of polio-free status certificate of clearance to Nigeria was made possible because of the partnership with WHO. Speaking further, the governor said he's satisfied with the rate of COVID-19 testing and vaccination, with the state ranking number 3 as regards testing in the country. He, however, expressed surprise that the health contributory bill has not been brought to him to sign it into law, just as he assured that he will expedite action to ensure the bill is signed into law. And on the foreign scene, a prominent ethnic insurgent group has captured and burned down a military base in eastern Myanmar near the Thai border. Myanmar has been in turmoil since the military ousted civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi in a coup in February, triggering an uprising that has seen security forces mount deadly crackdowns against protesters. The anti-coup movement has garnered broad support across the country, including some of Myanmar's armed insurgent groups, which have for decades been fighting the military for more autonomy. One of the most vocal opponents, the Karen National Union, has clashed with the military in their territory along Myanmar's eastern border for weeks now. And that ends the news update here on Today 95.1 FM. But do not forget, you need to take responsibility. Please wash your hands frequently with soap under running water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your face in high-contact surfaces when you're out and about to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. I am Annie Abdul Salam. To have a great morning. Thank you for listening.
Court, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. Live from the Garden City of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. This is Today 95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Okay, all right. All you need to know about this one is that
95.1 FM? Such a unique style.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Hey! You can have it hot, big chocolates. You can have it cold, big chocolates. You can have it at home, at school, at work, or when you hit the road. It doesn't matter who you are, grown up or a kid. Enjoy the chocolates of goodness every day because you need to reach your peak. Grown-ups, it doesn't matter. Have a rich cup of peak chocolate anytime and enjoy the delicious nourishment of chocolaty goodness. Peak chocolate it is. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Hello and welcome to this segment on radio. Today we have in the studio Mr. Walter and Mr. Chidi. Mr. Chidi, what is Cash FX all about?
Yes, thank you for that question. Thank you, my listeners. Cash FX is a global Forex academy. It's a platform for men and women that want to learn Forex. And with Cash FX, you will leverage on the power of technology to earn more profit. And it gives you a solution in the area of trading for you, as well as training you in Forex market. And the Cash FX has been helping men and women to have a successful trading activities. And with Cash FX, you are going to be assured of a very successful trading lifestyle.
Thank you, Mr. Chidi. Now to you, Mr. Walter. How does Cash FX operate in the financial market?
Okay, thank you very much. Cash FX, knowing fully well that our financial market is doing absolutely amazingly well. In Forex, we have over $5.3 trillion traded every single day. And Cash FX has come up to make this simple for everyone because skill sets is not good enough. This Cash FX, we use amazing technology, EAs, expert advisory knowledge to make this thing possible and make everyone profitable in the market. So Cash FX has come to bridge that skill set and bring in technology to make people profit maximally well. Cash FX is in over 200 countries, making things happen, making families happy, making friends happy because they are earning not just in local currency but in foreign currency because they use amazing expert advisory to trade on this financial global market and delivers to the customers.
Awesome, Mr. Walter. Please, I'm sure the listeners would like to know, how has Cash FX benefited you and any of your clients?
Wow, that is great. I love that question because Cash FX actually has been turning my financial quadrant to a better position. I started Cash FX few months ago, and amazingly, what I'm seeing every day is mind blowing. And one thing I want to let our listener know is that in Cash FX you have 4 streams of income. So just being in Cash FX and the customers, my customers, and other people that have been in Cash FX have 4 streams of income just in one platform. So every day I smile to the bank because Saturdays is a payday. Everybody look up to Saturday to get money. And not only that, I still learn Forex inside this platform, and not just only learning Forex. You see the live trade these people are doing, and if you trade Forex, you see yourself picking those trades and copy and paste, and you are making money even while they are trading for over 200 countries. This is an amazing opportunity that we have brought to you people to come and be in our seminar and see how we can open everything up to you to start earning massively in this global outfits. It's a legacy company.
Very well. Mr. Chidi, please, would you like to talk a little bit on how CashFX has benefited you as well?
Yes, CashFX has helped me to really get to a better quadrant in life, and that is being an investor where money has been working for me. Before, I work for money. I work for people before I get money. But now, because I am involved in CashFX, money is working for me because every Saturday is a payday. That is one of the unique selling points of CashFX, that every Saturday you look up to it and you just cash your money and you are through with anything that has to do with financial problems. No stress at all. So it has helped me, and I'm calling on every listener to make sure that you identify with CashFX. All that you need to do is to send the word cash to this number, 0809 8053 568. Just send the word CASH, that's cash, to this number, 0809 8053 568. Immediately you send CashFX to this number, we will take it off from there to really make sure that as you come to the seminar that we are organizing, you'll be so glad you did.
Very well. Mr. Chidi, you talked about people cashing out every Saturday. Please, can you expatiate on that?
Yes, what that means that after the trading of the week, you can cash out your profit at the end of the week and you are good to go. So most of us look out for this Saturday. The cash out is done and you smile home.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chidi. Mr. Walter, please, can you speak on the investor security?
The investor security is guaranteed. We use EA in making this possible in the market. What is EA? EA is a software that is used in trading in Forex markets. EA does not use emotion, does not use human emotion and human psychology to trade. It uses, artificial intelligence. So you are very, very sure that your money is guaranteed because of this expert advisor software that is put to work to trade for people globally.
So, Mr. Walter, what category of people are expected in your seminar?
Thank you very much. In this seminar, if you are up to 18 years, because for you to trade Forex, you have to be 18 years and above. And CashFX, big boys, you have money, you are wealthy, you are welcome, you're average, you are welcome, because we have big boys play in this industry. We have average people. Whatever you have people, the amount of money you have depends on the category where you're going to play in this business.
Wonderful. Mr. Chidi, Mr. Walter has spoken about the people who you're expecting for your seminar. How can the common man be a part of this seminar?
Basically, we are preaching financial emancipation. Every man and every woman that wants freedom in his finances is expected to be there, because you need to be able to pick your bills. In the dispensation that we are in, CashFX comes handy to help you in that area. And most of us that has been trading, we want to let you know that skill is not enough. But with all these technological involvements, you can really have a free day in profiting. So that is how every man, every woman, whether you are employed, whether you are a pensioner, you can really have a successful outing even in CashFX.
Very well, Mr. Chidi and Mr. Walter. Could you please give your listeners your contact phone number?
All that you need to do is to send the word cash to this number, 0809 8053 568. Just send the word CASH, that's cash, to this number, 0809 8053 568. Immediately you do this, we'll pick it up from there to really make sure that you are comfortable in this seminar, and they will also train you subsequently.
Awesome, Mr. Chidi. Any last words for your listeners?
Yeah, exactly. Please, there is need for you not to rely on skill alone. We are in IT age. So come around and really embrace CashFX. And all that you need to do is to send cash to this number, that's CASH, to this number, 0809 805 3568. 0809 805 3568.
Thank you, Mr. Chidi and Mr. Walter, for making the time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, listener.
Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the alarm is the one who made the public know about
Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on your premium talk radio station.
We are your premium talk radio station. Today 95.1 FM. The station with a unique dial.
Wake up to today's quest.
Wake up.
All the news and information you need in one go. Get started with the best of sports, lifestyle, analysis, and Annie.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? Wake up to today's quest with Annie on Today 95.1 FM from 6 to 11 a.m. weekdays. Fantastic.
Exactly, go past the hour of 9. You're listening to Today 95.1 FM. And before we took on that break, we were looking at Pantami's, should I call it now, his position on what he says, dragging through the mud. And he would not sit idle and watch his hard-earned reputation dragged to the mud by some paid agents linking him with terror groups. Now, let's not forget that before we took that story, there was also Fayoshi who says, look, it's as if this administration is the ones who are aiding and abetting terrorism. And if they're not going to do anything about Pantami, obviously, they're one and the same, so to say. This is what Fayoshi says. He says, insecurity, presidency, now employer and defender of terrorists. He says, while people were dying, the presidency was going from media house to the other trying to defend Pantami. And Pantami has also come up to say, look, I won't sit by and watch people drag my hard-earned reputation to the mud. And he says, we know of a conspiracy of editing a certain video showing him in a compromising position. And all that is to be geared towards maligning his reputation. He says, be warned, we know you're about to do so. Emmanuel.
Well, first of all, Pantami said paid agents. I don't know who paid them. Maybe
Pantami knows.
Of course, that's what I mean. Maybe he knows alone. Again, he said they found the doctor, the video. Is maybe placing him.
He said they're in the plans to doctor a video.
Okay, okay. It's not even happened.
No, it hasn't happened.
It's all right. So maybe at the right time it will happen. But what I'm only saying is that should it even happen? I understand. I was made to know when I was growing up that since then till now that a clear conscience fears no accusation. If maybe the doctoring of that video will place you in a compromised position as he's claiming, did you actually do anything? If you don't, why are you afraid? Because, there are forensic experts that could also look at that particular video to know exactly whether the position is portraying is the reality on ground or otherwise. So if such happens eventually, now it can be neutral organizations or bodies will take it to such a forensic experts to analyze it and find out that truly it was doctored. But when you are speaking out before even it happened, it looks that there's something you maybe have that dented you somehow. But going to what Fayoshi said about it, because for me, all that Pantami said, especially that is yet to occur, I don't value it much. Let it occur, then we talk about it. But for Fayoshi, you see, I will not agree that the presidency is now paying, what does he call it, either a terrorist or so, I won't. I think it's good for me, if anything happens, I talk about that thing that happened. Now, if, for instance, the issue of defense of Pantami that he shouldn't go, yes, if he's talking about that, I will say I do not agree with the position of the presidency. That's it, as far as represented by what Garba Shehu has said. I do not agree at all, because I want to believe that this thing is graduating. Pantami said it was when he was a minor, and after maybe a avalanche of facts, is coming up just to say, now I've repented, I'm no longer having links with this. So I am saying, even if it had happened when he was 15, truly, as he claimed, but he had in mind the articulateness to arrange such things he said, then the president should fire him from representing Nigeria as a minister of the Federal Republic.
Your position on that, Emmanuel. Ruben Izo Jr.
Yeah, and if morality speaks, Pantami shouldn't be talking about his reputation. And if I wouldn't blame him to a large extent, I blame those who hired him, talking about the federal government. If we have known how things are being done, I wouldn't use the word sinner climb, but the better climbs, you will realize that ordinarily we shouldn't be talking about Pantami being fired by the federal government. He, on his own, because of morality, should have resigned. But I think he's now gaining momentum, having observed the body language after a series of waves from Nigerians over his sack and resignation. And he saw that from the presidency, nothing whatsoever. I was speaking about this somewhere, and I expected that by now we should have noticed that the presidency would have invited him, even if we might not be privy to what the discussion may be, aka closed door meeting. Let them have it in respect to this. But we were surprised that at some point, a statement issued out from the villa was in support of him, talking about, instead of investigating a claim from DSS in respect to Pantami's statement, you are rather investigating the claims from Nigerians. So I wouldn't blame the man for coming out to now say he wants to defend his reputation. And I asked myself, reputation you actually initially accepted and apologized. I don't know which reputation you're talking about, honestly. And for Fayose, I wouldn't blame him. He's a Nigerian. The body language of your father sometimes can mean something else to you when it doesn't actually mean so. When you say you will act on this, like you earlier, I heard you on one of the newspaper headlines talking about the presidency will soon deal. I think I heard you read something like that. Yeah. And I asked myself, with all that they have been doing in the country, you are still telling us we'll soon deal. Do you expect Fayose to make any further statement in respect to this security? This thing? He's a Nigerian. He's at advantage to speak as a former governor who have seen some of these things. So to me, I wouldn't blame him for using the word that the president actually hires and support terrorism. It might not be right, but sometimes you don't give people, federal government has actually given Nigerians a different position from their view because of the way they have handled issues. That's just my position on this.
All right, got your thoughts there. All right, let me get to Dr. Seji Chinwo.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that happen in this country, and perhaps it happens in any nation that is breaking down, is where people redefine things in their own perspective and make it to be so. For instance, somebody is a thief, even a convicted thief, and he tells you, this is my reputation. And anybody who tries to infringe on my reputation, I will deal with him. Somebody does something that is contrary to the Constitution, and he said, this is the new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I was wondering, if I understand reputation as I do in law, it's really different from what Pantami has now said has gotten. Reputation is what the reasonable members of the society view you. Now, what do reasonable members of Nigerian society view Pantami now? As with the revelations we have had, unfortunately, because of our little attachment to history, we didn't care to know much. But now we know. Pantami, he admits that at 15, he was a pro-Al-Qaeda, pro-Taliban, pro-terrorist man, according to at 15. We know those who said he was a imam in the university mosque, that a student was killed there, where he was. We know that Pantami had always supported the kind of extremist views that people are saying this is what led to Boko Haram and what leads to the story of this country. And then That is all that we know about him. He said that is his reputation. So that reputation, is it worth him protecting again? Do we want to protect that kind of reputation? It doesn't. So what I'm saying is that Pantami doesn't have any reputation that is worth protecting. Now, he didn't tell us about the compromising view. Was he compromising view in terms of with a woman or with his fellow man or his
whatever
surgeon,
it was to malign his...
Was it a compromising view in terms of insecurity? Because if for instance, anybody now says that we saw Pantami with an religious extremist planning to do this, I think nobody. You're not defaming Pantami. You're telling what is the truth. You are justified. If the compromising view is that he was preaching and saying, "I'm happy with the death of infidels," it's all over the place. Then what is compromising there? So I think he's just trying to fluff, just like Ruben said. He thought when the president was away, we were all waiting for the president to come. Now, as the president was coming back, what did we hear? We had his spokesman go to the media and say, "Our Pantami is one of the best men. This is a man who can't do without. Don't you know that he is the one that is trying to reform communication sector and all that? So please, we need this man." And then Gumi has added the eyes into the cake to say, if you people dare remove him or cause the president to remove him, you're going to be in trouble. So the man, that's why you're hearing him now saying that he's a man. Sure, this week he can be sure that the media will be filled with those who are pro Pantami, saying that Pantami is ready to go out on a war.
I think that it's already full. There's a lot of people who are already championing.
Okay, so that is the situation. That's the situation we have in Nigeria. A man is convicted by the courts for fraud. Some people are singing outside for him being their hero.
Yes.
A man has done unspeakable things that he should be ashamed of. People are hailing him, and he becomes bold. So it's the danger we are, but there's also a sign of a man says not to already fail. So it's a sign of a failing nation where everybody redefines standards by his own this thing. So it's a sign now. He redefine reputation. If you have killed people, that's your reputation, and you want to protect it. But the protecting of that reputation is that you kill more people. So I don't know what they're talking about compromise.
I think that, like we heard, I think we spoke one time, Emmanuel, if you remember, when the DSS says, they know of some certain people who are about to do something. I remember when they were, and we said, well, if you know that, why don't you just pick them up at that moment so it doesn't even happen? I'm thinking that if there are people already who Pantami believes are somewhere conspiring to do this, then he should get, the security agents to pick them up and say, well, this is it. This is what you're about to do. I don't understand why you're telling us, the rest of us, that we should be wary or this thing will soon come out. And when it comes out, just know I told you people before it came out. It doesn't make sense to me.
Even if it's his picture, he will not say it's the
I told you, didn't I tell you?
He's just trying to preempt Nigerians that.
So if indeed, because I can't imagine I'm sitting down here and somebody has something. I know that if I go towards Job, there are 3 people sitting down somewhere and they have my picture there with millions of dollars running out of CBN, then I'll sit down here and I'll come on air and say, well, some people I know, but when you see Annie with $3 billion running, it's not. I would definitely find security agents now who will work with me and we'll get them. We apprehend the people.
Stop them on the track.
So why are you working
through these retired members? I think from
Bayelsa.
Is it? No, it's not Bayelsa. Amakri. Good.
Okay.
Said that they made that information available to the senators and the federal government.
Yeah.
So if they made such information available, what happened to it? They kept quiet. Federal government kept it in the cooler. Senators decided not to screen him based on that. I don't really know what is going on in that.
Take a bow.
Are you surprised?
The thing has come back.
Talking about
the bar couldn't cover you.
See, this is exactly what happened in the case of Mago. The DSS gave the nation a preview information that this man has a corruption case to answer. But the federal government still refused. Even when the 8th Assembly refused to screen him, they kept him on acting capacity, but later laid him off with that same corruption charges. And now for Pantami's own case, when DSS came out to tell Nigerians that we gave them this information, that was when Femi Adesina came out and said that the corruption case in respect to Adeosu, the former Minister for Finance, is quite worse compared to that of Pantami. And I was asking myself, what are the basis of comparison?
It is unfortunate Adesina saying so. I don't understand what he has in mind if he said that.
That's what he said.
In any which case, that story just Wale Okuni said the committee's work is ongoing and assured that the committee is on course. According to him, the subcommittee is expected to come up with a draft by the end of May, while a conference will be held where the draft will be discussed. They have to organize a national conference on the new constitutional decision. There's a guideline for them to come out with a tentative draft that will be subjected to discussion, dialogue, or conference of the Nigerian people. And then the main draft or proposal will be ready by October 30th, he said. He defended the action of the group, saying they have a right to come up with the constitution. He said the people can come together to initiate a dialogue if they see that the current constitution is not working and there's a need for a new one. Power belongs to the Nigerian people. They have a moral right and duty to initiate dialogue since they are not initiating war. It is their fundamental right. Daily Trust reports that eminent personalities led by the former House of Representatives Speaker Gali Umar Naaba, Professor Patutomi, had floated the Constitution Drafting Committee and Coordinating Committee of the People's Constitutional Dialogue aimed
in the activities. IPOB had maintained such. However, what is constant in life is change. I cannot say that no, except God that knows that these people can't change. A mere human cannot just say with certainty, because you may, as soon as you want to say it, before you finish, there will be a change in the ranks of IPOB membership. So for me, I think IPOB had not shown cowardice in their behavior in terms of whatever they did. The example I said is that either the Inspector General of Police or whoever said they are killing people, all these security operatives, they are collecting weapons from them. IPOB said, no, we don't kill people to collect. We produce our own arms. We produce them for our use. That's the kind of thing they do. Even though they shot themselves by that comment on the foot, because it truly it makes them the way the federal authorities are looking at them is exactly what the pattern is cut out for them there, saying you produce that. What are you using the arms for? But saying that IPOB cannot change is not for me to say, because I may say it and make myself a liar.
All right. So what do you think, Ruben, do you think IPOB, if they did it, they'll own up?
They've been owning up to some of the things that they have alleged that it is being perpetrated by IPOB. Most times they've come out to own up. But for this very attack that has happened last week and over the weekend, I think they've not actually spoken. But the elites, including, including the Imo State governor, made a statement that exonerated IPOB.
Reverted. After that again, he
has reverted it.
And said that it was done by hoodlums.
Okay, still not IPOB.
Yeah, he didn't mention
earlier.
IPOB.
He said it was politicians, now hoodlums. That reminds me to what Shehu Sani said. It seems like the extent at which criminality is being perpetrated across the nation has been colorated by the same elites with several names. From the north, they say some are bandits, some are terrorists, some are cultists and co. He has said initially politicians, now has given one of the names I think has already been on the national front burner, that they are hoodlums. But the fact remains that I don't think there is any attempt to actually wipe away the Indigbos as being put in the media. But it's just the same thing I said earlier on. It's just the body language of the presidency, talking about when it happens here, this is how you go about it. When it happened here, you arrange with all manner of these things and you come after them. But I don't support whether it is IPOB, hoodlums. What has been done currently in the East, what is going on in the East rather, is condemnable, and we all should add our voice to condemn it. And this is not the time to be sectional because we are from this region. That is how I said earlier on. It started in the north. They were colorating it with all kind of ethnic and whatever. Is our people, this, not that. You are trying to kill our people. Today now, those who were speaking, even as at that time, some of them are falling victim to the actions and inactions of this northern bandits and all the rest. So I totally condemn what is happening in the north, and not the time, as I said, to colorate it with religious meanings and all the rest.
All right, I got your thoughts there. Dr. C. A.J. Chua?
Yes, honey. I wish the president can go above politics in this season. If he could, what he would have done, I would have suggested, is that the president should have looked around this country and made contacts and called, summoned men and women of integrity and sat down with them to say, let us talk about this country. Incidentally, I just made similar suggestion last time because this problem has been shown that it's gone beyond government. This government, it has lost the capacity. Of course, it's not only because the APC government, PDP government couldn't also handle it when it was emerging. So there is need for a across the board discussion, and then not to pacify those who are shooting and killing, but to be able to listen and know what are the genuine concerns of these people. And because if you don't do that, you may be pouring more fuel into the fire, which is what the president today is doing. President Buhari is seems completely unconcerned about the consequences of his action. And he's taking those actions that provoke the people more and more. And it will be, one will be playing the ostrich to pretend that those things don't matter. For instance now, if an Adamu is removed or retired from an appointment in the federal agency, you are very sure that an Aliyu or Mohammed, you'll also be surprised to see that another Mohammed is coming to take over. And that is causing the crisis. You don't make us have a sense of belonging in Nigeria. Your appointments are skewed. You go to the judiciary, for instance, now, you appoint 4 justices of Supreme Court from the Northwest. If we go and look at till today, the population of lawyers in the whole of Northwest is not up to what you have in Imo State. No, not up to. Population of lawyers in Northwest, because they admit, the whole of North didn't have a lawyer until 1959. When Southern Nigeria, the Shabara will have been in since 1888. Now, so that is the kind of thing. But you treat the others with utter disdain. You go to Court of Appeal, you are appointing them, you appoint 18 at a time. Yes, I agreed. The South, because they have been there for a longer time, they have had total number. But when you look at the consumption and the contribution, but the president doesn't care. He goes into the military, every segment. So what I'm saying, you are provoking crisis. But maybe you are doing that because you talk another government did it. So that's why I said we must go beyond government now. Call different people in this country, sit down, and let's look at how to solve this problem. The solution may not be there, but it will be a headway. Everybody will have a sense of ownership of decision. Look, we agreed that we should go this way. We should go this way. So there will certainly you will be able to see that almost 50% you douse the tension. But as long as that is not done, IPOB will do what they're doing. As a matter of fact, they blame some of us have is that I've not had South government meeting and taking up security. My concern is I've not had River State. I've been advocating for that. River State need to meet. We have not had River State meet to say, what do we do with security? The other day they killed at Atabua. Yep. They killed at Ahoda. They are going to kill. They are killing at Ogoni. They killed at Ishogbo and other. River State has not acted as if they are concerned. And for any one of these who have been killed, there may be 2 or 3 civilians.
There was a security meeting.
No, I'm saying security meeting is government.
Yes.
Now. I say Rivers people. I thought that my governor, for instance, would have said, look, Rivers people, let us come. We have these ethnic groups. Let us. How do we strategize for this state? We don't know which direction our state will go. I don't know everything. But you have a situation where a governor feels that he knows everything. The other governor feels that he knows everything. South, everybody's on his own. Everybody's only grabbing, looking for power, and office. So it is this, but if we go on the way we are, the next thing that will happen is that every state will begin to meet. So we are not solving the problem. Well, we must begin. The president should take the bull by the horn, overgrow his political conclave, and call others. Let's meet. We need to meet.
I think that's something that they need to do too in the Southeast. There's a need to meet with whether these people are ESN or whether they're IPOB members, and to ensure that they do not attract the war to their region. Yeah. Because this is for me the biggest problem. Is they continue in the actions they are on now, and they continue to generate this sort of infuriating comments. Because I listened to a couple of clips from their leader And he does engineer them to take on this action.
Yeah.
So if it does continue to happen around that region, it's easy for anybody to say, well, these are the group of people doing it. And then you will have a military onslaught there. The first people to suffer will be the people from the southeastern region.
Yes.
Because it is their livelihood, it is their markets, it is their homes, it is their towns that will have to deal with the problem of the military men marching and massacring or destroying whatever they think they're doing in line to contain a group that they think are terrorists. I think that it's important that they take into consideration the lives of the people in the eastern belt of Nigeria and say, we will not have any war on our land anymore. As much as we want a Biafra land and we want it to exist, we won't do it killing the people on this block. It happened so many years back the line, but the memories have lingered on. I mean, almost every year we remember how it happened and the people who survived it. The relics of that is still there for anybody to see. So I don't understand why somehow they haven't learned any concrete lessons from this and seem to be fanning the same embers of war that they did last time and brought a lot of killings to that region.
A lot. Suffering was massive.
All right. Well,
you see, Annie, I don't know why that's their leader, to be frank, making incendiary comments here and there. And of course, breeding problem for his zone. One thing is that a leader that took off from Nigeria and stayed somewhere firing comments to Nigeria. And you also see that people here are not, in fact, they are the people suffering it, but himself is not suffering. His family is not suffering it. Ojukwu, during the war, was going to war front like Idris Deby, fighting with guns in both hands. And then you know that of course, both hands he was firing, whatever.
That must have been an amazing soldier.
No, because at that time, he couldn't have done otherwise.
Even Rambo didn't shoot from both hands.
Ojukwu, at least I didn't go to war.
Emmanuel, I've got to take the news. Let's leave it at that. The news update is next. Please stay here.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Hello and good morning. Here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Annie Abdul Salam. Gunmen have attacked another police station in Ehime Mbano, Okigwe South local government area of Imo State, killing 5 officers, while one officer is said to be missing. The armed bandits also razed the police building. The attack was confirmed by the spokesman of the Imo State Police Command, Orlando Ikeoku. The attack comes 2 days after gunmen invaded the country home of the State Governor Hope Uzodimma in Omoma, Oru East local government area of the state. Bandits have killed 2 more students abducted from Greenfield University in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. This was confirmed by the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs in the state, Samuel Arwan. Arwan disclosed that 2 more bodies of the abducted students were recovered by security agencies and have been evacuated to a mortuary, while the university has been notified of the development. This brings the total number of students abducted from the school and killed by the bandits to 5. Meanwhile, heads of security agencies in River State have held a meeting at the state police headquarters in Port Harcourt. Our correspondent Uchendu Ejiowo, who monitored the events, reported that representatives of the Nigerian Army, Air Force, Navy, Department of State Service, and police were present at the meeting. The meeting may not be unconnected with the recent security challenges in the state. The meeting is coming 24 hours after some security operatives were killed at some checkpoints in Ikwere local government area, and a few hours after 4 soldiers were killed in Abuadua local government area of the state. And there's serious traffic building up along Rumosi, Alakaya and Choba axis of Obiakpo local government area of River State. Our correspondent reports that the traffic is as a result of the Choba police station being barricaded. The reason for the barricade may not be disconnected with the recent incessant attacks on police stations in some parts of the country. And now to the foreigns in the U.S. will share up to 60 million doses of its AstraZeneca vaccine with other countries as they become available. The doses will be able to be exported in the coming months after a federal safety review. The U.S. has a stockpile of the vaccine, even though its regulators have not yet authorized it for public use. Critics have accused the government of hoarding the vaccine while other countries are in desperate need. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, you need to take responsibility. Do so by washing your hands frequently with soap and running water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your face in high-contact surfaces to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. I am Annie Abdul Salam. Thank you for listening. Have a great morning.
Court, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Education never ends, and we believe it starts even way earlier than most of us think. On Android Gorgie, every Tuesday, 1 to 2 p.m., we unravel these various building blocks and its challenges that make you and I better versions of ourselves. Android Gorgie on Today 95.1 FM.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
You can have it hot, big chocolate. You can have it cold, big chocolate. You can have it at home, at school, at work, or when you hit the road. It doesn't matter who you are, grown up or a kid. Enjoy the chocolate to goodness every day because you need to reach your peak. Everybody needs nourishing goodness. You can never have enough, it's true. Taste the nourishment you can enjoy. Big chocolate! Big chocolate it is.
Kids, grown-ups, it doesn't matter. Have a rich cup of peak chocolate anytime and enjoy the delicious nourishment of chocolatey goodness.
Big chocolate it is.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Madam Blay, what happen? You didn't move out?
Yes, so.
Una quarrel with landlord?
No, me and my husband, we just complete our house like this. So.
You don't mean it. It's a lie. It's a lie.
I'm serious, so we bought our plot of land at Mango Villa Estate for 800k.
Mango Villa Estate?
Yes, so for 800,000. And it never finished, because you can pay 300k monthly for 3 months. That's now if you don't get the 800,000 naira cash. Or you pay 165,000 for 6 months. Or better still, you pay 100k for 12 months and you don't get any problem with agent fee or bush entry. And once you buy the land, they will give you deed of conveyance. Sharp.
Madam Blay, no vessel. Me and you have been the quarrel before now. Why you not give me this better information all this while?
Brother, they never finish, and they are currently running a promo for the first 50 persons we go buy a plot of land or more from now till month end. If you buy them for 700k, cha, and they will equally give you referral bonus. So.
Really?
Yes, so for a referral of 1 to 5 plots, you get 5%. For 5 to 20 plots, you get 3%.
Mm-hmm.
And for 20 to 50 plots, you get 2%.
Wow. I beg. Where them they?
Mango Villa Estate is located at Abara Eche. It shares a boundary with Mbaka Adoration Ministry. You know that place now. In between Stella Maris University and the River State University campus proposed site where they want to build their new campus. Now, where this land is. So you see, say, it is for better environment like this.
I'm on a hot ground.
Secondly, you feel waka, go their office at kilometer 17, Stiles Plaza, Airport Road, Rupoku, Port Harcourt. Or you call this number where they call for you. So carry your phone.
They call on.
090-210-49222. You get them?
I beg, call them again.
090-210-49222.
My sister, now God go bless you.
Thank you, my brother. Better hurry now. Hurry now.
Make I take landlord too by surprise. in the insane way increase house rent, I go shock out.
You too can become a land owner. With as low as 700,000 naira, you can purchase a land at Mango Villa Estate. Plus, our installment packages are very, very affordable. You can pay 300,000 naira monthly for 3 months, or 165,000 naira for 6 months, or better still, 100,000 for 12 months. No agent fee, no bush entry. You'll be given your deed of conveyance. Mango Villa Estate is located at a very serene and secured environment. And for our referral package, for 1 to 5 plots, if you refer a person to buy our land, from 1 to 5 plots, you get 5%. From 6 to 20 plots, you get 3%. And from 21 to 50 plots, you get 2%. Isn't that exciting? You can visit our office for more information at kilometer 17, Styles Plaza, Airport Road, Rupoku, Port Harcourt. Or you reach us through 090 210 49222. I take it again, 090 210 49222. So what are you waiting for? Take advantage of this wonderful opportunity that Mango Villa Estate is offering. This is an offer that you can't get anywhere else. Nice and serene environment. Come see for yourself. Walk into our office at kilometer 17, Airport Road, Rupoku, Port Harcourt. Better still, reach us on our numbers 090 210 49222. 090 210 49222. And don't forget, offer valid while stock lasts. Are you not tired of being a tenant? Take the bull by the horn and give your family the life they deserve. Instead of gathering money to give to your landlord, you can gather this money and purchase a land of your own. Opportunity like this is not something you want to miss. Today, I'm a proud land owner, courtesy of Mango Villa Estate. You too can be the same. Take advantage of this opportunity and you will not regret it. Visit us or call our number 090 210 49222.
Wake up.
All the news and information you need in one go. Get started with the best of sports, lifestyle, analysis, and Annie.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? Wake up to today's quest with Annie on Today 95.1 FM from 6 to 11 a.m. weekdays. Fantastic.
Opinion poll on today's quest.
More than 3 over 4 of the loots we are talking about in this country today were loots within the 16 years.
Here is a great opportunity to sample all our opinions on the issues
Em in
raised.
Port Harcourt says the PDP is trying to divert our attention because Nigerian funds was looted by the PDP. Melody in Uniport says Madam Jonah is yet to come in terms of the fact that her tenure has expired. Annie, please tell him that investigation is not what you make public until the final stage.
Send your opinion to us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Today95.1 FM, or on Twitter @TodayFM951. You can also sample your opinions with us on WhatsApp or on our SMS portal using the numbers 070-1933-9962. 10, and you're listening to Today 95.1 FM. We're back. We're taking in a second story for our opinion poll. Second story is on the outrage that is trailing the NBC conviction of Channels TV for featuring IPOB spokesperson interview. Outrage yesterday trailed the National Broadcasting Commission NBC conviction of Channels Television over its April 25th, 2021 host of the spokesperson of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Ima Powerful, in an interview in which he played down on the killing of the commander of the Eastern Security Network, ESN, Ikonso, saying he had already been replaced. So you kill one Ikonso, there'll be two others to fill Ikonso's spot. I guess that's what he's trying to say. NBC, in a letter addressed to the managing director of Channels Television by the acting director general of NBC, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, accused the television station of breaching Section 9 of the NBC Act and liable to sanctions provided in Section 15 of the Code, which prescribes, among others, suspension of a broadcast license and a fine of 5 million naira. NBS letter reads, "We refer to the broadcast of your program of April 25th, 2021 at 7 p.m. In the program, a so-called new leader of the IPOB made several secessionist and inciting declarations on air without caution or reprimand by your station. He also made derogatory, false, and misleading statements about the Nigerian army. This is reprehensible, especially that IPOB remains a proscribed organization as pronounced by the courts of the land. This much Channels TV ought to know and respect. The program was very clearly in violation of the provisions of the Code and extant provisions of the Broadcasting Act. Similarly, the Broadcasting Act in Section 9 mandates the holder of a license to use it to promote national interest, unity, and cohesion, and it shall not be used to offend the religious sensibilities or promote ethnicity, sectionalism, hatred, and disaffection among the people of Nigeria." I'm just going to pause right there now because the focus of my conversation is on this sport. The Broadcasting Act in Section 9 mandates the holder of a license to use it to promote national interest, unity, cohesion, and it shall not be used to offend the religious sensibilities or promote ethnicity, sectionalism, hatred, and disaffection among the people of Nigeria. Now, I don't know in the full context as to how the interview went on with Ima Powerful, but I would think that part of national interest and cohesion is that you will want to listen to all parts that make the nation. There really wouldn't be national interest if we do not understand what one person is agitating for somewhere, what a group of people or a region are agitating for if you're not given a listening ear, if you don't understand where they're coming from. And perhaps then as a group, we can prefer a solution to engineer national interest, union, and cohesion. And I would think that part of that act, that section there in the Broadcasting Act, should understand that in national interest, in unity and cohesion, means that you speak to all and sundry, because they make part of Nigeria by and large. I mean, if IPOB is proscribed as it was now, does that mean that they will remain proscribed forever? I mean, what if there's a change to their modus operandi? Wouldn't that warrant that is viewed, the prescription part is reviewed and that is lifted? And how will IPOB perhaps understand the need to change a certain pattern they have now if there's no conversation being heard, if there's no conversation being had, if there's no conversation initiated? I mean, it just seems as if, for me, the government says, look, everybody just stay in whatever rooms we've locked you up until we open the doors, and we don't know when. And nobody's allowed to make any noise from any quarter. Mm-hmm. How much of this is limiting the broadcast stations in Nigeria?
You see, Annie, I think sometimes government agencies, maybe in their overzealousness, will overshoot. And if you are a hunter, you are overshooting. You will never kill anything, not even a rat. For instance, Nigeria is not where secessionist activities began. It's not. And it will never be where it will end. I remember vividly when in Russian Federation, Chechnya was making their own efforts to secede. And war, serious war broke out. you can understand the scale of war at that place where Russia has, and this Russia, Chechnya individuals who also scientists, they produce their own, and in fact, one particular warfare they had with Russia, they charred all the tanks of Russians to show you that they are no mean people. And Jokar Dudayev, who is their leader, however they did it, his interviews were broadcast in Russia, in Moscow, and nobody head was called for that. Now you have Nicaragua.
They're not Nigerians.
No, of course, see, things are very different in Nigeria. In Nicaragua, where they had, the FARC rebels or whoever, they also had people who were leading those groups interviewed. It might not be that government and people of the nation need even to know the minds of these people. They have proscribed, for instance. A more powerful, I said, I don't know. If you also go to the Middle East, where Israel and the Palestinians are always at each other's jugular, that is how you will see the Palestinians interviewed, even in Israeli radio. But I don't know what is wrong with. Is it that IPOB, maybe the proscription of Nigeria is a super one? I don't know. I'm saying super one or no super one, the fact remains that a proscribed organization could also be grant interview, and people listen to them and hear. That is, you remember oftentimes when they will be in an open place where they will attack them, I say no, you don't go to such defying federal authorities holding this kind of meeting, but you can do it clandestinely and release your report. If they are not interviewed, how will the reports come out? And these channels, is it that government only wants, for instance, I remember in 2015, this channel, as it were, carried on their head the propaganda which is involved in politics, propaganda of the present administration, the campaign and all that. Now, because they interviewed a more powerful, who also, there are several Nigerians who want to hear about what all these IPOB are trying to say and all that. People heard him, those who listened, I didn't hear. But what I'm saying, is it enough to give 5 million to channels? However, I keep on, because that's the way I look at issues. If, for instance, the laws exist, aside from the legal angle CAJ brought into this, that you cannot be a judge, a prosecutor, and also whatever he calls it. You can't be that alone, because that means you automatically have become God. Now, apart from that, if the law stipulates that you don't allow, as a presenter, you don't allow somebody make the derogatory statements or incendiary comments on the country and all the armed forces and all that surrounds the country, then you keep quiet.
Yeah,
I think they should be fine about that. If they had warned them earlier, because we are not in a military regime, for goodness sake. There are certain things you could do. It attracts a mild penalty. But this one, you even suspended channels because they didn't jot down to your tune, maybe mistakenly, or even if intentionally. You just suspended them. One thing I know is that, for me, Nigeria cannot change the system that exists in the world. All I know is that people that are proscribed, they don't engage in official duties like other ones. Freedom has been taken away from them. But it doesn't mean certain comments they have, they can make it through the media, through the airwaves. But if it's in Nigeria, we have maybe an intolerable NBC, fine. Let it go on like that. All I know is that channels will not go out of business. Eventually, someday, they will come back. Maybe pay their fine.
Ruben Isu Jr., I'm looking at engendering unity and how possible is that done without talking to dissenting voices?
Yeah, Annie, like Doctor said earlier on, you have just given more voice to that. I don't know how they intend, knowing the mind of some persons, they feel they are at war with or in disagreement with when you don't allow them to speak. I'm expecting that, like I said earlier on, in as much as I'm not holding brief for channels, if indeed they've contravened in any section of the NBC law, I am expecting that what Dr. CAG said is what should be applicable. You approach the court and let the court determine what the fine or whatever should be. But for the extent that I think channels is just a victim of an act from, if I should say, the federal government or its agencies to gag the media from actually doing the needful, and is a threat to democracy. You know, when the media is being gagged, our voice might not be heard. And when our voices are not heard, you know what happens. And to me, I want to ask a question in respect to the...
So is there a kind of voice that needs to be heard, and is another kind of voice?
Every voice needs to be heard. In a country like Nigeria today, that agitations are coming from left and right, if such interviews are not granted, aired on national television, will you know what their grievance is? You wouldn't know. Just like I will always say this, when the interview of Sheikh Gomik went on air, some of us had the opportunity to now know the minds of the bandit, even if to a large extent we weren't agreed to what really happened on that interview, but to an extent we heard, even if it is not true, we heard that this is the applied, this is that. So that's what I was expecting. And Annie, I want to also quickly ask this question. Is it that section of the NBC Act he quoted is holding on, is being applied only when the person is being invited to the station or when you send your journalists out there? Because I have seen, even in the international scene, where Al Jazeera, CNN and co go sometimes into their strongholds to interview these persons fighting the government, and you don't correct them over what they say or what they do, you shouldn't say. And that same interview is being played on the national television or on their stations. So I don't know if, because even during the Niger Delta struggle, we've seen journalists go to their creeks, interview them, and they use all manner of languages to air their grievances. And that same interview is being played on the national television, NBC. I don't know if this act has been docile before now, or they just dusted it up as they've been doing for other. So that's where you sometimes come to say, when Nigerians say you don't call a dog a bad name just to kill. I think channels is just being given a bad name, and as I said earlier on, maybe NBC wants to use them as a source of revenue. Otherwise, I don't know. Please, I need an answer to this question, because channel.
No, I can't be asking you a question then you answer me. You're not asking another. It doesn't work that way.
You can help me. I'm lost here. If this act is just on channels because they brought the person to the studio, or if channels have sent their correspondent to wherever he is.
No, I'm trying to see as much as possible. I'm trying to move away from what channels did and whether her query is right or wrong. I'm looking at generally the broadcasting rules and regulation as we have here in Nigeria. And when it comes to, the section quoted that has to do with national unity, cohesion, and interest. And I said, in promoting these three things, what sort of voices would we say we should not have on the broadcasting stations? Would we say because this kind of voice doesn't engender interest, it doesn't engender unity, it doesn't bring about cohesion, we will not have it on air? This is what I'm trying to level on.
No. You can't choose based on what you have just said from the section. You can't, because of national unity and code, and you choose who to come and speak and who not to come. I think what is best practice, that's where I said I agree with the NCC, where the NBC, where I agree to an extent is when such person comes to your studio, you already know who this person is. You try to talk to the person before going on air, not to speak in a derogatory language or manner. I remember, with a quick example, I remember when my brother was shot by the military. I was very fumed as at that time, very angry when I went to channels. I think I was being tutored by
what you needed to say.
Yeah, what I needed to say. But even at that, my emotion took a better part of me, and to an extent, I was using some very harsh languages. And I still have that video live on air. The sports anchor guy, what's his name, called my attention. He just paused and said, in as much as they are sympathizing with my family, they know what has happened, I should try to control myself. I shouldn't use language that will malign the government and the army. I understood where he was coming from, and when I was given the opportunity to start all over, I think I started on a better note. So I think from this television station, they have a very good opportunity to call their guests to come and speak on whatever they want to speak on, but you owe them something. Put them through what to say and what not to say, so that you shouldn't be fined with such heavy this thing. But where we are having a little shift was like, during the NSAS, Channels was also one of the television stations that were fined for airing the protest. So I don't know if that was also going against this same section he has quoted from the NBC Act. So that's where you think Nigerians are having this disagreement with the NBC.
Okay, we got your position on that. Let me get to Dr. C.J. Chinwo.
Yes, Annie, is unity is founded on the fact that there's diversity. And these diverse groups, with their different views, their different perspectives, are managed to be are kept together to have a front that looks like one, but it's just because it's united. What NBC should be doing should be that type of management of facts that come from different groups. Government says there is nobody who is not satisfied in Nigeria. We have done everything. Every Nigerian is very happy with us. Somebody else come from a section of Nigeria say, we are not happy at all. The other person says, no, government has tried for 70%.
Yes.
Another person says, government has done 40%. What does a body like NBC, what does it do? It is to manage that information and to also manage the press that present information to the public in such a way that reasonable people can now say that, yes, government will not have done everything, but government has tried. But if you allow anybody to have the impression that we are coming here to say government say there's no crisis, everybody is satisfied in Nigeria, then the people are going to ask you, like Samuel asked, the West is fighting, North is fighting, East is fighting. You lose credibility more. That's why I said earlier that NBC is the enemy of government. You lose the credibility more. And something happens already. I just realized that I'm struggling Dutch about being acting DG for more than 1 year now. I think he's in a hurry to see himself confirmed. But the danger is that man will never be confirmed. He won't be. He has embarrassed the government enough. I don't know any person in acting capacity that has stayed so long that Buhari didn't confirm. But he's from Kogi State. He's not an Adamu or whatever. The way he's going, he plays into the hand of the same government that we use as dump him and say, well, you have created too much embarrassment for us. It's him. So you should be very careful. What if you understood the philosophical underpinning of NBC? It would have been that this is the manager of information presentation to the whole Nigeria in such a way that we will achieve unity, will achieve. So it is not by shutting down. We say, well, this is the direction we are moving. But he doesn't seem to understand that. NBC has wants to operate a closed society. Nigeria said in our constitution that this is a constitutional democracy. We didn't say that we are a communist state. We are not a closed nation. So you can't afford to take away information from us. What you need to do is to know how to give us the information and make sure that we get the right thing and respond in the proper way. But as long as you want to shut down some voices, today how many Nigerians listen to NTA? They may be doing a great work, but see, government has created the impression that NTA is only reading the bulletin of the Minister of Information. And so you're undoing them. What has given rise to the private stations and strengthened them is there are competent journalists there who are working, but the government have cost them, and government have destroyed its own media. How many times have you heard Rivers State Governor grant interview to Radio Rivers to speak to Rivers people? He will go to China. He will go to already that news. I think
somebody said that while there's chaos going on, government-owned media houses will be showing you some traditional festivities.
Exactly.
So I don't know how true that is. No, that is just to show you the fact that they will shy away from.
We shy away from it, and because of that too, before they air their news, that everybody knows that is no more news. They have gone away. So you are destroying it. We can't work without the facts. And facts must have different shades.
Which is exactly what I was thinking.
Yes.
The fact is that they are dissenting voices.
Yes.
Whether the government tries to acknowledge it or not. They are dissenting voices. And in seeking national cohesion, there is room for you to hear what the other dissenting voice. That is what I believe.
Exactly.
Let's hear what your problem is.
Incidentally, Minister Information was on channel yesterday too, saying that our strength is in our diversity. Doesn't diversity include diversity of presentation, opinions,
different voices, different opinions. And if we don't speak about it and understand where the shoe pinches you, how do we prefer a better solution for it? I think, well, one, there are guidelines when you get a license. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Those guidelines exist. If you want to say, oh, in the United States, this is how they do this. Oh, in UK, that's how. Your license is not UK, it's not US. Your license is here in Nigeria. So it is guarded by what we have from the NBC. The best you can do is begin to form a proposal or push a team that will see the changes to this, to the code, the NBC code. If we don't get that done, you have to live by the rules with which your license was issued. And I think that the best that we can do is when you have dissenting voices, that you're able to caution them, like you mentioned they did to you at one time when you were about to go on air. Like I said, I have not watched what happened on channels, so I don't know if that was ongoing and they still are being hit by the slammer. But the NBC and government must realize that, for me, it is still part of, national cohesion and national interest. There's a group that has formed itself into what you have claimed are a terrorist group. We have been recording several number of attacks in the southeast. I mean, just now in the news, we recorded another place again where they've attacked the police station. And you think that it is not proper that we understand what's going on in the minds of these Nigerians, because whatever you have prescribed them to be, they are still Nigerians. What's going on in the minds of these Nigerians, and what is the best way forward? Because I would think that for every media house there, what they will want to engineer is the best way forward. So we've heard all your agitations, we've heard all your grievances. What's the best way forward? If you're calling for a secession, if that is not offered, on what plate would you say this works for you? If it's a restructuring, why don't you think restructuring is best for you? You need to engage in this sort of conversations to know where next to meet, and then what the center point will be for you. What am I going to let go? What would you let go? We can't continue to have a Nigeria that is heated. I mean, we're talking about River State now that has had several attacks now. We're not far away from Imo State. And so maybe any of the people in Imo State who feel that the government has not been listening to them clearly enough, they'll say, okay, let's move to Rivers. Maybe by the time we start doing 1 or 2 in River State, they will hear us. Or maybe some here in River State are sympathetic to these moves too and buy into it and are carrying out the same action. You can't tell. And it just seems as if at any avenue at all where we want to have these voices air what their grievances are and perhaps to seek a solution to it, they're going to be shut down by NBC. It's unfair if this is what is being done without an avenue for people to have a roundtable and speak. If all government is going to do is that you will listen to us by the guns, then they might as well just. I mean, is that not what's happening with Boko Haram?
Yes.
It's the same thing. They're shooting and then...
You didn't want to hear us, so we shoot you.
Yeah,
we'll kill you. See whether you don't respond.
My fear is that we should not, replicate what we have in the north in other parts of the country. Also, after they start going after... I mean, the Yoruba Nation protested the other day. I hear the other person is being drilled by the DSS now. And he says, look, our hand... Boho's house was... They said... They attacked the house, but we don't know who. They said gunmen. At one point, they said it's military men. So the news goes back and forth on that. But what we do know was that they did come to his residential area, and there was heavy gunfire. If all you need to do is talk to people by the guns, I don't think you're going to be able to get the answer, and that means it's going to be chaos for everybody. I think the military men in Myanmar did not expect this to happen to them. Nope. They expected that after the coup with their guns blazing, everybody but it didn't happen. They're daring them now. Mm-hmm. People who died in their hundreds, but they didn't stop. They kept going forward. Now they have other dissenting groups who have been armed before, who have decided to join with the people and fight against the army. So, I mean, these things are happening in other worlds. Why do we think something special will be different here if we're towing the same path? Well, I think channels still need to also understand that if you exist within a system, you abide by the rules. It's a simple... So if you had anybody there who was chanting war songs and, professing dissenting, and you did nothing to caution them, and you said perhaps encourage them along the line, then the fine is due you.
Of course.
40 minutes after 10, we'll take a quick break. When we'll come back, we'll be looking at Real Talk. We have something to do with River State.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Real talk.
Real talk.
But
It is the head that is supposed to push the followers.
Today, 95.1 FM, we bring you insights, intrigues, and happenings on the local politics of the Niger Delta.
But if that property you have somewhere worth that 1 billion is tied to a fraud of state money, if you can prove it's your personal money, you didn't commit any crime.
Join us every weekday, 9:45 a.m. to 11 a.m. Real talk. Keeping it real.
Was there reports that the traffic is as a result of the Choba police station being protests for PhD. We spoke about how they became proactive and shut down Moscow Road and said, well, look, we're also trying to protect ourselves. We know that your protest may be hijacked by some dissident individuals who might just want to use the opportunity and attack the stations. This is because of recent, we've been recording this sort of attacks. Choba police station has decided to do the same and has barricaded herself, and in doing so has caused this heavy traffic along the line. Now, again, the question I asked last time when Moscow Road did the same, at what point do we do this without thought or caution for the people who will need to ply that route? Do we say, well, the police need to be protected, so you know what? If you can't pass Choba, well, go to Bielsa, turn around to the other side. I mean, and then find your way. But the police here need to be protected. I'm confused.
Well, you may be, but it's necessary they do it. I keep on saying this because, see, if they are not doing that, we say they are not proactive.
I wouldn't say they're not proactive.
Now, for instance,
and they should come on the street and then detect who's coming to attack them before they do. That's proactivism.
Do they have manpower enough? You see, Nigeria is suffering from various ailments. Look at even the soldiers they are killing, the police officers they are killing. Already the UN is saying that Nigeria is under police, but they are killing the little ones. Go and then join them there and let us be porous here. It's unfortunate. But what I'm saying is that if, for instance, they do not barricade themselves in that Choba way and all that, even though people suffer it, and one thing or the other happened, they bombed that area, they said, we told people, let us do this thing. We would have been able to, at least at that time, we've cordoned ourselves fast. We would have fired them back at them. I think it's like what they call child of circumstance. Because it happens, anytime at all it happens, cordon off yourself and be proactive. Even those who are the hoodlums, if they are coming and they find out that there is barricaded already, vigilance will be their watch, or they may go back. Because they know that these people are waiting for them already. But if everything is business as usual, they will just go in there and then bomb. You see some people flying off from the other side, not retaliate. That is the reason. And even that Moscow Road barricade, I commended it because of what had happened in Owerri. We don't want it to be happening in other places, even though sneakily it's
infiltrating. All right, Emmanuel, got your thoughts there. All right, let me hear from you, Ruben Izu Jr.
I don't totally agree that this is a proactive measure. Why I say so is this: most of the JTF camps, not just JTF, the security agencies, sometimes when they have their road block in front of their camps, what they do normally when things like this comes into them to them is when the bikes, if it is where bikes are applying, when you get to the point, they ask you, I think that thing is still applicable at the C4I. The bikes and their passengers will come down. Possibly the passengers will raise their hands up and walk through before they will climb on the bike. But motorists are passing. You know, sometimes when I go through the checkpoints, like mostly in the other JTF this thing, I notice bikes, they are coming down to, and I ask myself a simple question. We are in the vehicle, we are passing. If they suspect that it is through the bikes that attack can come in, what if we have both our truck filled with arms and we are passing? That's the first question that comes into me.
Your own is not important. It's the bison.
So, I mean, with the currently now, except for the police station on the other George close to the governor's house, that is free currently. The other ones, to the best of my knowledge, most that I have seen, including the one on Abacha Road and all the rest, are being barricaded. But I ask myself, if River State, you're barricading police stations, the front of police station that motorists cannot use, don't you think that's the same measure the ones in Imo State have been, but they are still being on that?
Remember, I think that was in Nyanya.
Yeah.
When there was such heavy traffic, and that was what the insurgents at that time used to strike. And then they had heavy casualty at that period.
That's where I was even heading to.
Yeah.
When you even block front of your station, and in cause of doing that, you have caused another problem in the traffic. If these guys are really coming to make a statement, because what they are coming after is life. The volatility is just like we said earlier on. If you cannot listen to them, they are causing all these problems so that they call your attention. Now, if those who are doing this, their aim is to kill, you have given them a perfect spot to do so. They will just come there and blow an IED and it affects the police station. So to me, I don't think that's the best thing. If they want to be proactive, they should be proactive with other measures, not barricading. To me, it doesn't stop now. Look at, you are saying it. Yesterday, it was one of the stations in their stations in Anambra. Now, while we are in the studio now, it's a breaking news. You think that while Imo State is a target, you think the police stations have not been doing this? They have been doing it, but the only thing is we keep doing the wrong thing and expecting a change. While they are meeting, I was expecting that they will lay a kind of a perimeter ambush. That's what I'm expecting in all the police stations. In case there are intruders, not from the police station, from outside this perimeter, you engage them. Not blocking front of the police station. What does that have to do with stopping what the guys are doing? It doesn't stop them. So to me, I think that's an action in futility.
All right, then. We got your thoughts there. Dr. CAG.
Yes, and you know, we're always having this all or nothing tendency in governance and response to situation. And that's why we don't really achieve much. That's why, because if you had a proactive and properly organized system, before this, by 6 o'clock this morning, Nigerians will see that they only have their speed slowed, but people are moving.
Yeah.
But what happens? The police blocks there and made no alternative arrangement.
That's it. Just don't pass here.
Just don't pass here. We don't care what happens to you.
I said you go back to Bayelsa.
It's a terrible thing to do. Look, in nations, so this one, this is that they would think don't happen. They happen in other places, but people manage things elsewhere in such a way that you think they don't happen. You are having this situation. It's like now compare when two construction companies now. Julius Berger is doing construction in Port Harcourt. But Annie, we are able to pass. Go and see just little gut as Setraco is doing on this West Road. See the suffering people are passing through. Because Setraco has not made, you don't see, the only at that point they block everybody. You won't see them 100 meters away organizing traffic. You won't see that they have used concrete to organize new routes. Their own is, we are walking here, whatever happens to you, we don't care.
That's it.
So we must change our approach to things. It's the same thing that happens in our educational institutions, in government, everywhere. We just think that it's all or nothing. But in between, there are alternatives we can take, there are methods we can use and achieve a great deal of things. So if you think that people passing through, of course, in any case, look at where Choba's police station is, right inside, and all that lane, you block it. It means that is utter cowardness. Cowardice, right?
That's it, Emmanuel.
That's utter cowardice. From that place, they have so the other of us, they're not supposed to move. What are you talking about? If you are a police station that know what it should do, you will even start watching this security threat from Choba Junction.
Yeah.
From Obirikwere. Yeah. You watch things. You communicate and say, look, SY type of vehicle, their movement, please watch it. The people at maybe in front of the Today95.1 junction, we see that vehicle and stop it.
Yeah.
And that's how things are done. But here now, you see all the policemen are at
front of the station.
Front of the station, drinking or chatting, and they don't care. If anybody wants to pass, if you give them money, they can allow you to pass. So it is a terrible. We must learn. I don't know. I keep saying maybe How much can we go back to school to teach? But we must learn certain little
over there, spread yourselves and continue to screen the cars and vehicles going through. If your fear is that it will be attacked. Now, you cannot say because we don't want to be attacked. You people are all going to have this difficulty in your lives.
So far.
And suffer. And where there's congestion, if anybody has an IE there, it will explode and kill those ones there.
I'm telling you.
Don't care to escape. Some people are going to that's the teaching hospital there.
Yes.
Some people are going on emergency. You don't care. You won't, and you don't even explain to anybody anywhere. All of us just drive in, go to the room. By the time you get to the room, you begin to see build up. What's happening? Nobody explains to you. It's even as I go to the studio and I realize, as you read the news, and I realize why I suffer when I suffer coming here.
And you suffer when you're going
No,
back.
and that's why.
You suffer when you're going back.
And trek past that area.
Well, we have a build-up of traffic that I particularly believe shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But then the issue again that we should not dismiss is the fact that you have security agents who are being attacked around Nigeria, especially here in the southeastern part of Nigeria. And recently, we saw this increase in this action. I mean, at what point or what should we be doing now to mitigate this movement? Why are security agents being attacked? We woke up to the gory news of that on Sunday, and we had not just finished decimating that story on Monday before Abuadua also recorded the deaths of certain soldiers. I mean, I have something here that was sent to me by somebody who's also claiming that some officers were killed somewhere, but I haven't confirmed it yet. So until I do, the thing is that we have it on the increase and it's steadily growing, at least for us here in River State. Imo State has been witnessing that. Abia State has also been witnessing that. River State now is doing that. What do we need to do now to ensure that the lives of our security agents are protected? And definitely not by asking them not to pass the front of the police stations.
That's to remove their brand of creativity.
But
then, you see, I think what should be done is always, I don't know, what a mother has as food, she gives to her children. When we are talking about not blocking, well, do they have arms to face people who now bust into them like that and then start firing? You see all of them will run and they'll kill a lot of them. Now, because they don't have, if you see that place is cordoned off, fear will enter into you, no matter how armed you may be. Because any of you busting into that area, you've cornered yourself. Now, I think what should happen is, first of all, government should equip the security officers. Now, intelligence gathering is the greatest key. I don't know. You see, sometimes when I was small, I would hear that, this thing, in fact, in my village, some people will come, join in a hotel. I think they call them restaurant. It's not up to a hotel, yes. In a restaurant and be drinking what they call pami and all that. You wouldn't know that these are SSS people that we were calling. Now, in the end, one time, anything, that is exactly when something serious happens.
Yeah.
They will come back the next day and then just handcuff. If you do, they'll play the tape of what they were discussing with you. I don't know whether the people that we call what the DSS today, whether they don't do it again. No intelligence. Later on, when we start saying, where was the DSS? They will say, no, we have intelligence. And if they do, as they've been claiming, why is it that government don't utilize it? Because I think the executive, which includes the police, should utilize the intelligence provided by all these people. Because if you don't have intelligence, there is no way. And again, remember that all these hoodlums also have their own intelligence department.
Yeah.
So if you are trying to gather, they are also trying to cover that you won't gather the intelligence. But that is why your own should also be a crack team gathering that intelligence. Because there's nothing you can do, whether you have a stockpile of arms or not. If you don't have intelligence that this thing may happen, you won't be proactive as we are talking about. Now, when government agencies have this intelligence and there are arms, should anything happen suddenly, they'll be able to do it. Because it's always it's become a cliche. Security is not for one man alone. What will Emmanuel Ndukwe do than to see suspicious movement? I'll report. That's where it ends. But I cannot go to report because if I report to the police, and maybe detained to, in fact, to be the guide of whatever happens. You see why Nigerians are also withdrawing from making available such information. Because you have seen something that went wrong, you went to the police, and then you will be held accountable. How are you sure that this thing happened? Come. Look at it. You will now say, in your life, you will never report such again. So, I don't know how we are going to do it, and authorities, because these are the people that have been given the mandate. Like we were talking about constitution, we said, unless they accept it, they won't implement it. They won't allow whatever Abakoba and his group are doing. So, it is these people that have been given the mandate to lead that are dictating the tune. And so long as they are the people doing that, let them be in the forefront. And then gather intelligence and execute it with the right way it should be done.
All right, Amanda, what your position on that? Okay. What do you think, Ruben Jr.?
I think I wouldn't say training, but I would say
now. Training now.
You know why I say so is I'm talking about a general training of our security agencies in further future occurrence like such. Why I say so is this: when they go out, they really implement what they know while they are being recruited. They communicate amongst themselves. I mean, outside, they really implement what they know in the force. And I hardly could hear, although not currently, before now when our policemen are being sent outside for peacekeeping, we hardly hear of casualties. They walk and earn the name, the good name coming back. But I don't know, when they come here, they feel or are very docile to their responsibility, even to the point of securing their lives. Now, you know why I say so? Before the correctional center, it was spread, it was the news all over, that the camp commandant or so, a 48-hour, that information was leaked that there will be an attack. So Nigerians were now asking, if you had the extent you go about being reactive, it becomes it provides proactiveness. There is an extent you want to react to what has happened. Going about it, it becomes also being proactive. But I discovered that we adopt the wrong measure in even our reaction. So to me, I feel like if the security agencies currently cannot be proactive enough or even being reactive enough to secure their lives, I wonder how they can secure us. Currently, their lives is in jeopardy. Currently, as it stands now, I'm telling you, security agencies no longer wear, except on convoy or on their patrol, they no longer wear uniform as usual. You know, initially, before this incident attack on security agencies, you can freely see them in the bar. I'm not saying this for saying sake. You can freely see one policeman sitting somewhere freeing himself in the bar. You can't see that currently. Now I ask myself, what are they doing to even secure their life first? Because like it's known, you have to have life before you secure the next man's life. So if the security agencies can no longer secure their life currently with what is happening, it is quite worrisome that our lives are no. Even before now, we know we're a large part of security on ourselves is vested on us, not on our security.
Vested on us.
So I don't know currently. It's quite worrisome that news coming out indicates that police stations are being freely attacked. Security agencies are easily being killed in checkpoints. So it's quite worrisome. So my suggestion, I don't know the outcome of their security meeting they had some 2 days ago. Yesterday, I think there was a security meeting in Rivers State. I don't know if the heads of the security agencies decided that what we are observing now could be the proactive measure. But to me, like I said earlier on, is not enough. We are expecting that they lay some surveillance starting from on this angle from the Obirikwere to Rumusi down to Today FM. They should have some forms of communication amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And that access in front of the station should be free. Because like I said it, Annie, whoever that has made up his mind to go to the station, that will not prevent him. I'm saying this now in Imo State, they have been doing taking a lot of proactive measures to stop these guys being from their stations being attacked. Yet they are being attacked. So I don't think this is the measure that they will take. And if an informant of these attackers is passing by, and they will call them to say, I don't think we'll pass here again, no. I don't think we'll attack here again, no, because hold up is on that axis of the Choba. They barricaded one lane. Rather, there are Nkoro roads, if I should use that language. There are other routes behind the station, of which we all know. There is one road that links towards the Indomie axis of Choba. Will they block that side too? So it's quite unfortunate that they are adopting to this measure of blocking the east-west road, trying to prevent attackers.
3 minutes has gone past 11. And that is where we wrap up on the conversation so far. This is the time where we want to listen to you. And you can react to any of the posts we've put up. We put it up on our Facebook page and it's also on Twitter. And for opinion poll, we asked 2 questions. We asked, how is nationhood cohesion, unity, and interest best encouraged if broadcast stations can't speak with dissenting views? So maybe there's another way and another suggestion. We're willing to hear from you on that. And then we also did ask, with the increasing insecurity in the southeastern part of Nigeria, who is best blamed? With the increasing insecurity in southeastern part of Nigeria, who is best blamed? Please, let's get your thoughts on that. 0810-9510-951 or 0817-0000-951. Those are the numbers. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning, Annie.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
My name is AB, calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, AB. AB.
The issue of insecurity in the southeast, including all over Nigeria, who to be blamed?
I'm not asking all over Nigeria, please. I just asked that of the southeast now. The insecurity was, who do we blame?
Okay, one. Annie, do you know that after the resignation of the former IG,
yes,
when Mr. President was in London, they appointed the acting one now. Do you know within the hierarchy of police, there is no peace within them because of that announcement? Just find out, investigate. I have someone who is in police also. They are not happy with the appointment of Mr. President. The same with the army chief. When you look at those that are supposed to occupy this service chief are not the ones choosing. So within themselves, they are not happy.
So you're saying that this could be reactions from the Nigerian police?
My sister, God bless you. They are the ones that even fueling this thing within themselves. But they are using IPOB as their cover because they have already been presented as the enemies of Nigeria. So whoever commit a crime, they hide under them. That's number one. Number two, Mr. President, last time I remember when the army attacked Boko Haram, they brought Quran and the flag of Boko Haram. In Asorok, what did he do? He displayed it to the whole world. What does that mean? That Boko Haram has taken over Nigeria. That's the meaning of that. But we can't reason properly, know the body language of Mr. President of displaying that flag and Quran.
So you're now the one who is interpreting that because they were able to take the flag from where they hoisted it. You're saying no, hold on. Let me get what you're saying properly. You're saying that when the military showed that they had rescued a certain community and taken down the flag hoisted there, that for the president to show that flag means that he has accepted Boko Haram?
Annie, remember the Nigeria.
I just asked the question. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes, that's their sense. Because for you to display that flag, it means that when Boko Haram conquer a region in the north, they hosted their flag, meaning that they have taken over the territory. So for Mr. President to display that flag and
he has also hoisted it there. All right then. Thank you very much. We got your thoughts there. There's no need to go round and round. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning, Annie.
Yeah, Money, what's your name?
I'm Obinna. I want to thank you especially I guess, and their last caller. I like this, like somebody who you want to make arguments to be sincere. I like that is sincere. If Nigerian government are sincere, my sister, I think you're asking the problem of insecurity in the Southeast.
Yep.
If I tell you that maybe somebody says, hey, it's Nnamdi Kanu, that. You know that Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to have a meeting with Southeast governor in Enugu because of Nnamdi was saying, some people have invaded our land with AK-47, in our people not to go to farms I remember what Igbo Congress, he was telling us, no, let's go and bring our own people that invaded our land. But everybody was saying, no, don't do that, don't go Nigeria. But what's going on?
So why must they have a meeting with Nnamdi Kanu? Why?
Yes, there is a lot of insecurity. IPOP members have been killing on daily basis in that time. Everybody's pointing hands. Please stop the killing of our youth. What are you doing to our youth? But everybody was hoping that this governor that time will come and stand and say, okay, IPOB is not a terrorist group. Like me, you people are preaching unity, one Nigeria. But they're not in the unity. I'm not seeing any unity. Evidence of fact, there's no unity here, my sister. Let's not run away from the truth. Look, after everything, they invaded now the kind of house. Thank God he did not die. He's alive now. He was in London all this while. Even now, he's in London. He created this ESN. Everyone wants to say, we don't want ESN. He's prescribed. Who prescribed them? Who is prescribing? Who is supposed to be a prescribed person now, currently?
I don't understand. So is it because they were prescribed that there's violence in the southeast?
No, it's not the prostitution that caused the violence. They have declared them. My sister, I remember something.
Let me, before there is because elders in the southeast did not do what they needed to do earlier to ensure that they were all working from the same, page or platform. For him, it was the fact that they refused to have conversations with and meetings with Nnamdi Kanu that has resulted in this issue. Obviously, he's also said, if you go by what the governor had said in recent times, maybe this has been perpetrated by some political machineries in place who do not want to see Uzodimma as governor of Imo State. So, but wouldn't that just stop in Imo State? Why would he move to Abia? Why would he move to
Nambra?
The Obina should have, in fact.
Hello, 95.1 FM. Good morning.
3-4 years ago, there was
we need to ensure that we have everybody else who needs to call in to come through. 0810-951-0951 or 0817-0000-951. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Annie, aka Wanyoma.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Chimeze.
Chimeze, great to have you. Go ahead, Chimeze.
Annie, you can remember that I have been talking about what former President of America, J.F. Kennedy, said. And I want to remind you, he said, those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. And by implication, you can see that all these years, Nigeria government keep addressing the people, verbally, militarily, even with poverty. They have refused to discuss with the people. Leadership is about, when to address, when to discuss. Everything is not about gun, killing, militarization. No. These guys, we are using flag. They want a referendum, that they are peaceful, self-determinist movement. Nigerian government and some people say, no, kill them. Even the Christian Igbo Apex Organization, what they call them, Ohanes and Igbo, collaborating with the Southeast governors. They say, kill them. Fight on dance. And now they have radicalized these people. This was how Boko Haram started. They were looking for something. Their leader was killed. And now look at Boko Haram since 2002. This is 18 years plus. Boko Haram have not been defeated. Yesterday I listened to one radio station. Someone was saying, kill them, crush them, destroy them. Then one honorable Chris now asked, these things, are they doing return march? Today they will say hoodlums have killed soldiers. Tomorrow, soldiers have killed hoodlums. Are they doing return march? Are these not Nigerian citizens that are being killed in whichever way or name they might be called? Why can't these people come together and discuss and find a middle ground for peace to reign? If Nigeria is the name, the problem, whatever it is, it can be discussed. Than killing all over Nigeria. Look at it. Let me stop here so that others can talk.
You try. Thank you so much. 08109510951 or 0817000951. Don't forget you can send us text messages. Send them to 07019339962. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Peter, calling from Port Harcourt.
Great to have you. Go ahead.
Like, what is happening in the country? People have been dying in the name of IPOB. People lost their brother. People lost their son. People lost their husband. And if they tell you a number of people that have died in the Southeast, you even marvel. And they will tell you this is coming. Why should somebody mobilize themselves against people? You don't even blame your senators. You don't even blame the governors. Instead of you to go back, tell them, organize things. You are against the government. And now, people have been dying. You go to the security agents, Imo State, you see the state prison. People died because you want to get something. And now you say River State must belong to you. River State is your own. Now you will cross over to River State and be shooting from Omagwa, Elele. People have been dying. And people are very happy, clapping.
Right. Okay, we'll get your thoughts there. Thank you very much. Send your text messages to 070193399962. Text messages and WhatsApp post to that number. I'll be reading them in just a moment. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning, Annie.
Yes, please. What's your name?
Yes. This is Akanimo calling from Port Harcourt.
Kanimo, go ahead.
Yes. Annie, police are doing their best. We should also allow police to do their work. What they know they can do by this time. So my only advice to Nigeria is we should hold government to recruit more police. Hold government buy more gadgets of police to do their work. Because the few police that we have now, and as I'm telling you, if you have 100 guns, that means it's 30 policemen that are going to use 100 guns. I don't know how they are going to use it. So that means if 30 policemen using 30 guns, then we have 100 guns. That means the remaining 70 will be used by the criminals. So, to me, by this time of the day where we found ourselves, nothing police can do than to barricade. Even if I be in charge of police, in short, any road linking to police station will not be passed. Nobody's supposed to pass by now because we are not serious about insecurity. What can we go about insecurity to be stopped? What we are interested on is how, yes?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
08109510951 or 0817000951. Those are the numbers to dial through. Don't forget text messages 070193399962. Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Annie.
Yes, morning. Please turn down your listening device.
My name is Chile Edwin.
Chile Edwin, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Great to have you. Go ahead.
Talking about the problem of in the Southeast, who to blame? I think all the blame will have to go to the elders and the leaders, the so-called Johannes and Igbo, and the political leaders. Because at the time when Nnamdi Kanu started the whole of this preaching of secession and all that, abusing the president and the North and was doing all that he was doing. Even when they said that they were not violent, I don't know how people will be violent. The usual violence is only when you carry guns. When he started this thing, nobody called him to order. To the extent when the Kanu visited the father and the father told the Kanu that except the son that is right what he wants to do, that nobody can change his opinion. You see? And this thing has gone to the point that he has succeeded in brainwashing the youth. And most of the elders in the southeastern part of Nigeria. And now look at what has come to us. they were starting bandits and all. Now we are putting our own bandits and it has landed, and look at what is happening. Everybody is talking. When we see evil and we will not call it by its real name, and everybody is clapping. When even some of your analysts there, you see the way they go left, right, and center, rather than hit the nail on the head and they call evil by its name. We cannot continue like this. Nigeria cannot be. There is no decision. I am an Igbo man, and you cannot tell me that because you are asking for separation and this thing. Now, have you asked of my own opinion? Do you know if I will follow you if that thing is granted you? And they are talking about channel television and granted. Is there no rules? You have the lawyer in your studio that is the lecturer is telling you that the problem that we don't have problem with our constitution and that it is implemented and all that. And look at where a TV station is violating these rules and regulations. And you are still telling me that they should go to court and they should do. So we should be careful with what we do. We don't play with words when we come to national security and issues. We have to start our feet and, address these issues. Once and for all, and those things all of us. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Got your thoughts there. Thank you very much. Let's take another call. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Annie.
Yes, what's your name?
I'm Chima, calling from Port Harcourt.
Chima, go ahead.
Yes, Annie, the problem is Southeast. I think we liken it to blame by the politicians. Now, a time where you were supposed to react on this matter and call everybody to order, now they say only to come up when IPOB have already set up their ESN, then you are coming out with a bubago, which would have done things, The security generally, I think there are so many issues that people are yearning for are yet to be addressed. So many Nigerians, in as much as I don't hold brief for somebody carrying out a bomb as a sense of answer to whatever question they are asking, but I think there is need to address issues that Nigerians are yearning for. We all know the state of the country favors only those at the helm of affairs. You understand? The state of the country now, it favors them alone. So people are not happy. Me, I'm not happy, but I can't resort to carry gun. No. You understand? There are other many ways to carry gun to be able to address the issue. Then coming to the blockade of the everywhere, that is not the. I think for once, let us go away from analog way of security. Blocking tires will not stop somebody to go and bomb police station. For crying out loud, it will not stop. There has to be intelligence. You cannot block roads, even in River State. We have just limited access roads because of the construction, and you are blocking and bringing on so much of people. I tell you, you are securing. That is not security at all. That is analog way of security. People can still go ahead and block and do whatever they want to do or bomb police station. My one is blocked. It no matter. There are so many places that are blocked. That is not the way at all.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Got your thoughts there. Thank you. A text message here says, good morning, Nani and the guest in the studio. Solution to insecurity. My take is this. These elements who are capable of subduing the security architecture of the nation has shown more mastery of the security business. I wonder if it is an aberration if one who have more understanding of a task is used to perform that task. Lawman, a.k.a. I put you there, said he sent this in.
It's all right.
All right. Annie, Solomon La was the former deputy Senate president during Obasanjo's era. Okay, I guess that's the person that C.H. Chuma was trying to remember then. I don't know if it's the same person, though. Good morning. See, I must tell you the truth. I'm Chris O'Chris. I warn Nigerian government that killing of your citizens will not help. I blame the Nigerian government. Anu and crew, good morning. In as much as the police continues to collect bribe, prevent justice, kill, and maim innocent people at random, they will continue to suffer this public anger. Aaron, you sent that in from Abba. Obina reporting from Port Harcourt says our leaders, he said our leaders are responsible. Okay, well, I'll get back to that. I'm not sure I can get that story now or that comment. Okay, Obina reporting from Port Harcourt says our leaders are the problems of these issues. Nigerian government needs to listen to Biafra leader now before it's too late. I don't know what is holding PMB to fire the minister. Repent or not repent, let him resign. Okay, Cletus from Abacha Estate Uzoba, you sent that in, but since we're not looking at that particular issue, I can't go through all of what you sent. Any flag of Boko Haram in the north, it is them flag, IPOB. I don't know what you mean by that. Thank you, Ugo, but you're asking where's the unity. I don't know, maybe you're saying if there's a flag of IPOB here, why did they remove it? If there's a flag of Boko Haram, of course, if there's a flag of Boko Haram, they're not leaving it. The intention is that they'll get to bring it down. But as of now, it is there. This is what the governor of Niger State said. Annie, please tell Ima what is happening in Russia today, since he seems to know Russian history. Putin's critics is in jail. We should be careful what we have or what we give subtle support. The carnage we see in the East will go round. Kingsley, send that in. Good morning, Annie. I'm surprised to hear there's nothing wrong with the Constitution. The Constitution constitutes 80% of Nigeria's problems. The call for restructure is a call for a new Constitution. A good articulated People's Constitution will change their perception. Daniel D. from Port Harcourt to send that in. Hello, Annie, and all the guests in the studio. I'm Chidi Okbaloko. What does it benefit or profit NBC to witch hunt the media and please the federal government? It was AIT, CNN, and now channels. The media is our defense aside God. NBC boss will hide his face in shame, but I'll also encourage compliance with the guidelines. Please let's all unite and build a better Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Annie, good morning. I am Brown, texting from Obunabali Road. NBC banned Channels TV for airing iPod program. But CNN do air some speeches and programs of that CNN. CNN did not get its license from NBC. And then they are broadcasting through DSTV. It's not local terrestrial signals. They're doing that through cable TV. So it's a different thing altogether. Anyways, you said, and they do, ISIS, even in the UK, the rebels in Northern Ireland are being seen on UK BBC. The Northerners are making statements and air then on TV channels all over the nation. Why will IPOP on be a problem? I don't know that Northerners airing there is a problem. When you say Northerners, what do you mean? Is it Boko Haram? If it's Boko Haram, then I want to know which channel has Boko Haram been on. Northerners as a whole have a right to speak, the same as Easterners have a right to speak, the same as Yorubas have a right to speak, and anybody else in between. I guess what will be a problem is the kind of comments they make while they're on air. In the case of IPOP particularly, government says they are a proscribed group. That's a different whole ball game altogether. Good morning, Annie. Incompetence. Central government is to be blamed for the insecurity in the Southeast. Buhari's indecisiveness has emboldened his enemies to just anything, knowing that nothing would happen. Nandi Kanu must have watched PMB only lip service reaction to Amotekun before launching his own. And it is if one behaves as a shift accordingly. So what do you expect? As I always say, if Abacha is resurrected today, he will end insecurity in the matter of weeks. What was that group that Abacha had? Those crackdown people he had. They had a name.
I've forgotten something squad.
Something squad, yeah. Those guys were
I think Sergeant Rogers was one of them.
Yeah, I remember Sergeant Rogers, yes.
He was heading that squad.
My goodness. People really were frightened of those group of people then. If they were here now, do you think it would be any different? All right, the government of Nigeria is to blame for the insecurity in the East. If we want a solution, the media houses and all Southerners should be honest about this and understand that tribe comes first. You don't betray or turn deaf ears to your people just to be politically correct. The government should listen to the Eastern agitators or the other way will be the result. Nigerian government only understands force. Ifeanyi, you send that in from Port Harcourt. The federal government is the cause of everything. How can you see a non-violent organization and name them terrorists since then they start behaving like terrorists? Nigeria should withdraw that pronouncement. That's from JD. Good morning, presenter. Nigerian government are hypocrites. They know the truth and also pretend as if they don't know the truth. This Buhari government abused former President Goodluck Jonathan and even protest against his government, and nobody was jailed or prosecuted. What a shame. This Buhari government is full of politicians and that have no good for the people, killing every day, and the police and the military is used to fight the citizens instead of the enemy, killing the good people of Nigeria. As for me, I think there will be peace since the government is not ready to do the right things, make the people that voted them to have faith in. Sam, thank you very much. I've got your thoughts there. Hello?
Morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
My name is Tommy.
You've got to speak up. I can hardly hear you.
Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, my brother.
I see you as the base. My name is Base because it's the same as the base. Now, Annie, I am from River State. Let me tell you what is happening in the Southeast. I'm not from Southeast, but I know. Annie, the problem in this Southeast is tribal confusion, dictatorship of the proletariat. Annie, let me tell you, look at it during Goodluck Jonathan's government. When they were talking, when he was fighting Boko Haram, they came to the floor of the Hollow Chamber. They said he's fighting against his people. All the same, look. Well, okay, now I'm fighting against the people. No problem. And they won. He won, went and congratulated the president. Buhari. Now, the Buhari government came. Look at the situation that is happening. Now, the commander of the Eastern edition that died, who killed him? Who killed him? So what happened? The governor of Imo State went and start picking all the people, even the one that is not involved, and not for the plan that he has captured all the people that ran away from the correction center. At the end of the day, we have been hearing about Sakrawo. And if you go to Army Barrack, you will see 200 or more than 500 persons pasted that they are looking for them. All the same today, no one has been found out. You see a country where a terrorist have told you that we are the people that have killed these people. At the end of the day, nothing happened. You see a country that brought out a flag that we are the people, now we stand. That flag is still there. And what kind of system of government are we operating? What kind of what? I tell you. Now, I mean, let me tell you. Look at the problem in this country. Look at the governor. Instead of him, instead of him, all the governor in the country, instead of them coming to their state and call their people and say, what is the problem? At the end of the day, when they find out that the problem of the people is informed, they will not go and tell the center that this is how it is. No wonder why Achebe wrote in his book in 1968 and said, things are falling apart. The center cannot go. That
we got your thoughts there. Thank you very much. I've got to let you go. Thank you very much, but we got your thoughts pretty much. Annie, it's Abacha Strike Force. That's the name of this. Abacha Strike Force. This is Keme. He sent it from Rupoku. The wrath of God upon Nigeria emanated from the evil hatred the Igbos have amongst themselves, being unpleased with what God gave them: one tongue, dialect, culture, and tradition. Unfortunately, self-shame and hatred crept into some of them, telling God that they prefer hailing from far different tongue tribes, like our biblical analogy, free Barnabas and kill Jesus. In the separations implanted by politics in favor of divide and rule, South right, South left, South front, South back, bearing Chukwu Emeka, Chukuma, Ike Chukwu, Oke Chukwu, etc., using same tongue to so hate and kill themselves. Why this mentality? And Matt, you send that in from Port Harcourt.
So where's the northern own?
In relation to insecurity in the Southeast, Annie, during COVID-19 pandemic lockdown last year, some group of able-bodied young men were freely moved from north to southern states. Did any authority care to know where those boys and men are at the moment and the kind of jobs that they're doing? Keeping eyes solely on ESN and IPOB, for every insecurity issue around here may spell doom for everyone. Let's watch it from 2 Timothy in Port Harcourt. Good morning to you all. I'm Ebere from Port Harcourt. Let the truth be told, the attack on our security agencies to show that our nation is not safe. It is time our leaders say no to insecurity. God help us also. It's our nation is not safe. Safe. Well, everyone, all the uprising you see happening all over Nigeria today, especially in the Southeast, is as a result of President Buhari's nepotism and injustice to the people of the Southeast. Just imagine this. The man Gumi has been granted interviews by radio and TV stations, and the NBC did not sanction any one of them, but just one interview from Channel TV to Ima Powerful, and the TV station has been sanctioned. What is that to you? To me, it's injustice. Let me ask this question. Can there be peace without justice? Let's all tell ourselves the truth for once. This PNB government has failed. This is from D-Man. Well, I think there are two different scenarios here because I don't think Gumi is prescribed.
No.
And I think, again...
Calling for Melele.
Comrade Patrick from Melele, good to have you. Go ahead.
Yeah, security situation in Nigeria is very complex. Nobody has continued to lie about things in this country. And yet nobody is holding any concrete or tangible information about what is going on. Every one of us is in trouble. Not just the leaders alone. So theirs is even better. They can fly out because they have where we are. What about the people who don't have where to go to? We should take it. Truly, I'm doubting the people they are calling that they did. We should really go deep down.
Before going to sleep, at intervals in the night, you wake them up so they will eat themselves. If you fail to do so, we on the bed, and the next morning you have to wash the bedspread. You need to sun dry the bed, the foam they lie on. So that is what has, and you fail to take our body. You agree.
I've got to let you go. The line is not clear enough. Maybe you'll call back. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. You're the last call for today.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You see, the president, by his own, I can understand, and the Constitution.
All right, then. Thank you very much. We got your thoughts there. Thank you very much. Last text I can take here from the WhatsApp platform. In 1984 to 85, Buhari administration violated human rights. Two journalists, Tunde Thompson and Nduka Rabo, were convicted for unfair hearing. The fine from NBC to Channel Television is undemocratic and is injustice to the media. Idiosyncratic leadership style that doesn't have sense of democracy from the leaders. Let federal character principles play among the three tiers of government. But if police can't protect themselves, what about ordinary Nigerians? Have police institutions paid those innocent citizens killed every day in the streets of Nigeria with nobody cares for? I saw text messages and I saw WhatsApp posts that I'm unable to access and attend to. Arnold Ndukwe and Ruben Izu Jr., thank you very much. I've got to wrap up because of time. We don't have any on this left anymore. Dr. C.A.J. Chinwa was here earlier, legal practitioner.
Know me? Do you know me? I am Dave Roberts, your favorite guy on radio.
Who can love you better through the storms?
Okay, all right.
Oh, you